is Mr. Young.
And it's foreign into building. How are you, my brother?
I am sore. You know, we are recording this on a Sunday. We are starting on time, meaning yes, this is a recorded episode. To those in chat who are wondering, are they live? Are they recorded? We always have one or two fellas testing the waters, you know?
Yeah. No, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. If you are pre-recorded, it means we have good content to share with you, bro.
Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying we don't have good content when we are live?
We are flying by the seat of our pants usually when we're live.
No, we're flying by the seat of our pants on a Sunday morning as well, or Sunday afternoon, actually. But yeah, I'm exhausted because I actually decided, you know what? Sunday will be my workout day also. So I woke up bright and early, went for a strength training class, and bro, I cannot lift up my arm.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, I also actually went to gym just now this morning, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
2025, we are like, what, gym bros already? 2025? Is that it?
I mean, I just want to be healthy and like not die at 30. Get ready.
Okay, there you go. Well, I forget that you are still quite young. You're talking about 30. I'm like, bro, I crossed that bridge already.
The bridge has been crossed. Can't cross it back, bro.
But I mean, it's good to see you on a Sunday, and we have a jam-packed show as well, especially coming off an incredible SPW event. We'll get you all the details in just a bit. Plus, we have exclusive footage, okay, from the event itself. We talked to some of the participants, like, you know, we had Butcherman, the new champion, we had Andrew Tang, the statement as well. We chatted with our good friend, our sponsor, Hasif.
Yes, Hasif finally officially makes his debut. I want to say in-ring debut, but I was like, he's not making an in-ring debut.
Ringside debut, bro.
Yes, ringside debut. So you can get to see him, talk to him. It was really, really fun. It was a full crowd that I brought, right? I had Hasif and his friend, brought my girlfriend, brought my boss.
Yeah. Bro is doing the super networking lah, I tell you.
Bro,
you know,
network. I'm trying to get everyone to watch wrestling, bro. Everyone in my network, bro. That's what I'm doing. Ambassador.
You're the Logan Paul, huh? It's the beautiful thing about pro wrestling. We've all watched it at some point in our lives, and it's just about rekindling those core memories and bringing it back.
Yeah. And also another great thing about wrestling is like, again, as much as we talk about it, as much as we review shows, there's nothing that can compare to watching pro wrestling live.
No.
Yeah, and like here in Singapore, the closest you can watch it is of course through SPW, Grapplemax, Ring or Rebirth. So, you know, if as much as a WWE fan or AEW fan that you are, and that's why you're watching this podcast or listening in, I do hope, you know, one of the takeaways you get from listening to us is do one time at least catch a local wrestling show, experience it for yourself, bro. Experience wrestling live.
Absolutely. And talking about live wrestling, of course, this upcoming weekend, 16th of November, Grapplemax is doing their pro wrestling festival. It's going to be huge, and we will have the Grapplemax openweight champion, Wilson Hotshot, in the house. We'll chat with him, find out what he's thinking about going up against Cal in the main event. Plus, of course, he'll help us break down the card as well. So I can't wait for that. Like I said, jam-packed show. Plus, we got to talk about NXT, bringing back those ECW vibes, going head-to-head against Dynamite. And I don't know if our YouTube title is giving away the spoilers, but I'm sure you've already seen it. But not just bringing back nostalgia, laying the smack down on those Dynamite ratings. What is going on? And, you know, at this point, I know you guys are like, Misty, I'm biased, showing his bias again. At this point, I'm not even gloating. I'm just feeling sad. I feel... as a wrestling fan, I want there to be good competition so that the industry thrives. Right now, Dynamite, AEW is not it.
I mean, it's cool, for sure. I think everyone acknowledges, even if you can objectively, like, you know, like AEW, like, okay, the product is not as hot, right? There are things that you know, you can talk about that I'm hopeful for sure.
In a bit, when we talk about it, there's one bright spot that I want to highlight, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah. And of course, you know, I know you're paying attention to like the Wednesday Night Wars, but who can forget the big reunion that happened on SmackDown this past weekend as well?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, we will jump onto all that in just a bit, but as always, we talked about him earlier. He was at SPW. We need to shout out our sponsor, Hasif_captures on Instagram. Hey, drop him a follow. Tell him that, you know, the Kick to the Gut boy sent you. But best and most importantly, go and have a little free lunch with him.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, he talks all about community, how he's excited to support like passionate communities, which is like basically he got to experience it firsthand, watching
Oh,
SPW Crowning Glory.
yeah.
And I think his big takeaway from the show is like he didn't even realize there were so many pro wrestling fans. He was like, wow, this thing sold out. I couldn't believe it, right?
Not
Yeah.
just so many pro wrestling fans, but so invested. The fans were so into the product. I think
Yeah.
we impressed him. Us
Oh,
wrestling fans, we 100% impressed him.
For sure. So the fact that he invests in us, I think it's a small return to
Yeah.
invest in him as well. If you ever need a review of your financial portfolio, need a second opinion, you can talk to him. If you ever want to catch up and have a one-on-one lunch, learn about entrepreneurship, learn about personal branding, you can talk to him as well. First day is on him, so no harm done. Get to know him, and of course, if nothing else, you should be following him, bro. Follow him on his socials.
Hey, he look at him, like he's a gym bro, right?
Yeah,
I
gym
think
bro.
he can step into the ring and
Ooh,
throw
show
some
me the
folks around.
money. Money, money,
Whoa.
money. Yeah.
You think he's Shane McMahon?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to market him as the Shane McMahon of local wrestling.
Right.
But depends on which promotion want to take up that offer lah. I'm MVP. I'm like marketing him as like an agent.
Okay.
Yeah, let him do the work.
That I'll be the Leo Russia. Leslie. I'll be just the guy Leslie in the background. But yeah, we'll talk about all that in just a little while. And like we mentioned, we got Wilson coming up on the show. But of course, talking about this past Friday, it was SPW's Crowning Glory. What an incredible event it was. In fact, I know for a fact, there were a lot of our foreign friends, not you, foreign, but people from overseas at the card. Because I saw a lot of Ang Mohs, but not just that. I know one fella, he's a big wrestling fan. Like literally he follows all the US promotions. He's from the US. He came down to Singapore and he was there at SPW.
You know this guy personally? Or
Yeah, like
heard
from
about him?
streaming on Twitch.
Shit, did you say hi to him?
I did not because I forgot he was there. I didn't see him. Unfortunately, so a big shout out to Eric. How you doing, buddy?
Bro, you should give him a tag and DM thanks for coming all the way to Singapore to watch some local wrestling, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, we've been on a hot streak on the podcast as well. We have Hotshot coming up, but we actually interviewed, was it like a bit of a precursor? Was it a spoiler? We actually interviewed the new SPW Southeast Asian champion last week.
Yes.
I can't wait to talk about his match. But let's run down the card and talk about your experience during the night.
Absolutely. All right, let me pull up my notes because that's the thing, right? Sometimes I feel like doing what we do because we are there to enjoy the night, but also take some notes down. Look, I feel like half the time I'm on my phone. I'm like, man, I hope I didn't miss too much stuff. But yeah, it was a crazy night. I will say this though, and I totally understand it, right? I think we both can relate. Technical issues are part of life. Like on this stream, we get technical issues all the time.
Yeah.
Did it take away from your enjoyment? I know sometimes, like the crowd, you can tell they will be like, ugh, whenever like people's videos got cut off, or sometimes
the music,
will get cut off.
It was a minor drawback. I think it did take the fans a bit out of the action. But can I comment something about SPW for this night, bro?
Okay.
I think all of them somehow engage an agency to level up all their motion graphics because everyone's entrance was dope, bro. Like everybody level up their entrances. Do you see that?
You mean their entrance videos?
They're Titantrons.
Titantrons as well. Now got motion graphics, got cool logos, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know what? That might not be a big deal, if you think about it in the long run. But honestly, that adds a lot to the presentation. That adds a lot to your aura, right? You want to kind of be taken seriously as a wrestler, and you want people's first impressions of you to be whether it's how you look physically, how you perform in the ring, and your presentation. All those things factor into people's first impression of you, for sure.
That's right. We kick off the night with Jack and Cheese versus the Midnight Bastards versus Blade and CK Vin. This was a tag team championship #1 contenders match.
Triple threat tag team match. And right off the bat, bro, I need to pay tribute, right?
Yeah.
To CBK, right? Bro.
Okay.
Most over person of the night. I would even say rivaling Butcherman. Don't you think so?
I think so. The cheeseburger chants were, were very loud.
Yeah. And I know what? He's a great opening act. And I mean it in a very complimentary way. I feel like him being the first to come out with BGJ, that got the crowd into a frenzy. Everyone was chanting CBK, cheeseburger. And Hasif was there and his friend, and they've never seen local wrestling before, they immediately got it. Like, oh yeah, this guy with the freaking mask and like the Titantron has a cheeseburger. Hilarious. Love it.
I love that you brought that up, by the way. Talking about wrestling, sometimes you're like, oh, do I need to know the characters? Like, that was my first thought, right? Looking at Hasif and his friend. They were both into it, chanting the cheeseburgers and we'll talk about the STD chants, but they got it immediately. You don't have to go, like, that's the thing about wrestling. You don't have to go in knowing all their history unless you're AEW viewer. But for the most part, good wrestling is when you can just be there and enjoy the moment and just engage in a bit of groupthink, a bit of mob mentality, if you want to paint it in a less positive way, but in a good way, in a good way. Yeah,
I think it's great because I feel like, and I think this is also advice for all the promotions out there, right? Like, imagine or assume that all the viewers there that comes are first-time viewers, never seen your product before. How can you get them hooked? How can you like make a first impression, right?
Bro, you should tell that to Tony Khan. Please send this clip to him.
Well, SPW was doing it right? And not just the babyface team, right? Like, we were talking about the great entrances. Like, I really thought that RJ and Mason's Titantron with the gaming team was hilarious. Immediately, people understand why they are hated. They are annoying.
I mean, it comes across in the entire presentation. You talk about when they come out and then the way they're like crotch chopping people and flipping people off. It's all right, these are the assholes. You know immediately.
Yeah, and I remember when Blade and CKV came out, like both of them were, I think, big winners by the end of the night. We can talk about it in a bit.
Wow.
But and like a lot of people, like, I'm just kind of like using Hasif as a reference. He didn't know anything about the history between like referee Ryan and Bryson Blade, right? But I remember during the halftime show, he was like, I really like that Bryson guy. Like, I like how he carried himself. He's like BDSM chains and all that.
The
Edge Lord, like, the douchiness of it, like, immediately connected, like people got it. So
you are telling stories that can be complicated, but in a simple way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I guess in the layout of the match as well, right? Like, eventually the two heel tag teams was kind of like beating up on Jack and Cheese. Immediately that gained sympathy from the fans as well.
So I'm curious, and I don't know, maybe they have a reason for doing it, but most of the babyface getting beat down was BGJ and not Cheese, CBK. Did you notice this? Like, usually...
Funny, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's the smaller guy that gets beat up, then he tags in the big horse, the horse comes in to clean house. But in this match, most of the time it was the other way around.
Which was interesting choice for sure, right? Like, realistically, you thought BGJ would be the one that comes in and cleans house.
I feel like at no point did I feel like Cheese was in jeopardy.
Because I think the management, or maybe like people know that the star of this tag team is Jack. Is Cheese. Cheeseburger, CBK.
But isn't that the point? You beat down the quote unquote star so that you gain sympathy. That's wrestling, what?
No, you beat down the guy, the heater, or the one that is not as popular, Jack, so that when the hot tag comes in, the most popular guy can do the whole babyface,
right?
Like the babyface routine, essentially, right?
I don't know. I feel like it was a little bit like, at no point it would have been fine if it was like, it happened several times, right? Like, okay, you had Jack getting beat down, then you had Cheeseburger, CBK getting beat down, right? And then make the hot tag. But yeah, I feel like the whole match, Cheeseburger had no like hot tag to do.
Yeah,
which was interesting choice.
I gave really high marks for CBK during this match because again, like, you can't teach that, bro. Like, like Jey Uso, right? For all his flaws in ring wise, like, you can't deny how over he is right now, right? And like, I feel the same vibe with CBK, like, regardless of his gimmick or like, maybe he's not highlighted enough in the ring, but bro, like, that, to me, the crowd reaction, it's so hard to get that, right? And Singaporean crowds are more. You think what, we anyhow just give away our cheers so easily? We need to be impressed, right?
Yeah.
CBK was like the star of this match for sure for me.
Talk to me about the heels then. Okay, so we have two heel teams, very different heel teams. You got the Midnight Bastards, who are more like gangstery type heels. Blade and CK Vin. Okay, they are more. Is comedic heels an appropriate term here? because they were doing
more,
more of the like, like there was the who brought out the Ryan photos, and then everyone held the Ryan photo to their face, and then Blade was all like, no, I don't want to see him.
I think it was CKV. So CKV was kind of shitting on his own partner doing that. So
You
I'm
know,
not sure what is that dynamic.
It was to fire Blade up. So you see Ryan go and beat him up. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
that whole act is a comedic act, right? So I wonder if it was done to separate themselves from the Midnight Bastards. Like I said, you got two heel teams and one babyface team.
I feel like this match didn't do CKV and Bryson Blade justice.
Agree.
By the end of the night, I think what they did afterwards was the thing that brought up their star rating.
Yes.
If I was to grade their performance just based on this match, not that much. Probably average rating.
So they did the classic spot in three-way tag team matches where the same team members try to pin each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's cute for like when I watch like maybe SmackDown or whatever, if it happens, right? Actually, I don't know. I think it's kind of like I don't think it should be done anymore because it confuses people who we talk about like who are new, right? It's like, how come you can pin your own guy? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a trope that should go away.
Yeah, it's like very DX, like childish kind of thing to do. And like I'm not a fan of the triple threat tag team match, especially if you are planning to make it like a proper tag team rules where you have to tag in and out.
Yeah.
Because what's gonna happen? I'm gonna do a triple threat. It needs to be a 3% at all times in the ring.
Yeah.
Or is it one at a time and you can tag another tag team? It's like very convoluted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the best, 6 triple threat tag team I've ever seen.
But then it's very hard to do a good triple threat
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
right.
I understand how hard it is. And also I wanted to say for the Midnight Bastards, right? Like they had a lot of shine in previous shows, like Hardcore Island. They were in the main event. Here, I felt like they were a bit in the background.
Bro, and that was literally what I have on my notes right now.
Yeah.
Look, we both feel the exact same way, so it's not just a me thing, right? I felt like actually RJ showed up a little bit more of a snarky heel personality, right?
Yeah.
But with Mason, I was like, he was just there. Which
Mason didn't impress that much for this event.
Oh, he's gonna like talk some shit about us soon, bro. Because we said this. He will.
I mean, more content for him, right? But I think another thing as well, and I was quite curious, did they kind of follow Butcherman's advice or challenge? Because I think he gave a call out last week, right? He said like, okay, leave your Midnight Bastards behind and fight me one-on-one statement, right?
See,
so
I mean,
is that what happened?
We'll get to that when we talk about the main event. We're kind of like, jumping ahead. But yeah, I feel like, there was all this build-up of, this is a new faction, and then suddenly, and a heel faction as well. Like, imagine if Solo and the New Bloodline, suddenly in the main event, they don't show up for Solo. Like, huh? Like, it just felt very weird. But I get why. Yeah. But it could have been done in a different way. Like, Gore could have run them off to make it one-on-one, right?
So it's I guess they didn't explain it well enough for me to kind of give them high ratings for this match.
Yeah, I really you feel like after the momentum they had, here it was like they were just kind of there. And
they tapered off,
which is a waste to me.
Which is sad because like I thought they were on an upward trajectory. I really felt like, realistically based on booking this past year, I think they should have became the tag team champions, tag team number 1 contenders, because I felt like this would be a natural matchup with like the Horrors, right?
Correct.
But instead,
Jack and Cheese pick up the win. I mean, okay, the finish, Blade jumps off the top row and basically Jack chops him into like oblivion. He just like slapped him one time, like, exploded his chest, whatever. It was a nice finish. I really enjoyed the finish.
Yeah, it was like a flying clothesline, I guess, to him.
It was more of a
flying
slap.
Chop.
Slap to the tete. I think Blade might be missing a nipple.
Oh dear God, okay.
You got an interesting scenario with a very much popular babyface team challenging an equally, if not more, popular babyface established tag team.
Oh dear God.
Which is another head scratcher. It's like, okay, like, now you have two face teams facing each other for the tag team titles, right? Like, wouldn't have the Midnight Bastards been the right choice here? I don't know.
Yeah, again, like taking away like the crowd reaction. Yeah, I mean, if you want to base it on the crowd, for sure, Jack and Cheese deserves to win. But in terms of storyline or like what would make sense to me was like Midnight Bastards getting the win because Jack and Cheese can remain over.
They're already over. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't even need it.
Yeah. So Blade and CK will have done whatever they did.
Yeah.
And later on in the night.
Yep.
So like RJ and Mason would have gotten a great opportunity going to the new year. So that was how I would have done it. But yeah.
It is what it is. So let's move on to the next match. I think
it really a match? Was it really a match?
Look, we all knew this was not going to be a straight up one-on-one. There was no way. Ricky Malik, aka Harry Potter, the Harry Potter chants, I love it, versus Destroyer Dharma. Like immediately you have the big giant guy versus this skinny schoolboy looking fella.
Yeah. I do not in any way want to spoil Ricky's gimmick, but after the show, he actually was like he literally came to us and was like, how do you think our match went? Like if you have any feedback, and like I respect that in the most like non-kayfabe way. I respect that, but about this match though, bro, like I felt, and I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told him, right? Like I felt Dharma and Ricky didn't have that much chemistry. Maybe because it's the first time they kind of touch or like been in a ring together.
The first time why do you make it sound so sus, bro? The first time they touch.
Every time we touch, I get this feeling.
Ricky had a couple of feelings, all right? He might have some tingling in his back after Destroyer, spent some time with him. But okay, so Ricky jump-started the match, hitting him with I don't know if it was a dictionary or a book or what lah, but it makes sense, right? Because he's the smaller guy, he needs to jump-start this shit. That is Wrestling 101.
Yeah.
But pretty much Dharma just destroys him after that lah.
Yeah, it was the Dharma show, most of it. I think he was toying. How many times he pinned and like, purposely cut the pin.
Yeah, pulled him up at the count of 2, right? And then GM Carl Heller comes out, says that Ricky Malik's parents call him,
that was hilarious.
It's a very Singaporean thing.
I love it. That only in Singapore wrestling can you do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because we all know the type of parents that will call the school teacher, for their kid and scold them and whatever bullshit. So apparently, are we gonna see Mrs. Malik soon?
Oh my god! Do not bring their parents as a character, please. Do not.
Because I think, did I just plant some seeds in heads? But okay, so according to the GM, he had to lift the suspension previously laid upon Kentona.
Yep.
So Kentona came out. To honestly, none of our surprises, but this was the right thing to do.
Yeah, it was. I think there's no way in hell Ricky Malik would have won this match without Kentona's assist. Him coming back make a lot of sense. And I even love the way they introduced the so-called situation that led to it, right? Like the whole parents thing was hilarious. I give Ricky top marks, or like I give him the most marks within this match because of that plot twist. Like I enjoyed it a lot.
No, I mean you have to like you said lah. There's no feasible way that he was going to win this match without somebody else's help, and it was a straight up 2-on-1 after that, right?
Yeah. What do you think of Dharma's Hulk Hogan impression?
Has he been doing this lately? Like, I don't know where this came from. It was so random. I don't know, maybe he felt it in the moment, he went for it. I was like, okay, it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah. Do you remember how the match ended? Because I do remember Cantona putting in the Master Lock.
Yes, so he put him in the Master Lock. Dharma sort of fought out of it, but he was in a sort of on all fours stance. Then Ricky Malik hit the Stomp. Ricky Malik goes for the pin. Dharma, Cantona also pin. So it's a 2 people pin Dharma. 1, 2, 3. That was the finish.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I get. I mean, for the story they were trying to tell, I think it was a logical finish. So I can't fault them for the story that they were trying to tell.
It was interesting to see Dharma versus Cantona. I look forward to seeing them one-on-one, but I understand why they did Ricky here first, because Ricky can bump a little bit better for Dharma. I think that Dharma versus Cantona is a straight up like a monster show. It's a what do they call it? It's like Omos versus Braun.
Like a kaiju.
Yeah, it's an attraction fight, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you necessarily want to see it more than once. Let's just put it that way.
That's the thing, right? Like my only issue is like Cantona, I know, has a great story. He went into wrestling pretty late in his career. And I think we managed to talk to him a bit, and he was saying like, he might not even go on a long run, like maybe he'll do one more year of wrestling. And I respect that, right? Like, okay, this is something he wants to take off his bucket list.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think he's the smoothest wrestler. I think he still has a lot of work to do.
Yep.
So, and as much as we've commended Dharma in the past, I think he's definitely has took a lot of our feedback, and I know he does listen to the podcast, and I appreciate that.
He's laying his shit in way more.
Yes.
You can tell. You can tell.
He's a better striker for sure, better brawler, but I wouldn't think that he is like the ring general that can kind of lead Cantona to a good match. So at most it will be like a very Goldberg-esque power move match, you know.
Attraction, a special attraction match. Like the two giants just beating the hell out of each other. Yeah.
Yeah. If that's the story that they're gonna go for, okay, sure. But I want to know what is Ricky Malik's deal with Carhella. Does he have him in the back pocket? That's my question.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting wrinkle into this, whole relationship. So we'll have to wait and see how this pans out lah.
Okay.
All right. Sure. Let's move on to the 24/7 Battle Royal. Okay. I typically am not a big fan of like these huge battle royals. We already had a tag team 3-way. So now I understand this is an anniversary show, so you should, you want to get everybody involved. I get it. But it was very crowded in the ring.
It was a clusterfuck, let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, he said it, not me. Bro, I thought you were supposed to be the nice one.
No, I'm being honest, but it's not a bad thing. It's an unavoidable thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to tell a good battle royal story unless every one of them had a story going into the match. Yeah. Everyone had like a rival, then it would be a well laid out match.
Well, to be fair, there were some rivalries in play. The first one, the most obvious one, was Riz and Sane RH, right? The whole Wolfram cartel sort of fallout, as it were, and they were like at each other's throats the whole time.
I really enjoyed his talking about Titantrons. Bro was walking in the street with a wife beater. Remember, I kept talking about that. I was like, wow.
Same. No, and then he had the smirk.
Oh yeah, the hug and the smirk.
Yeah, no, and then they repeated the video over and over. So I'm like, hey, and then it says like, what did it say? Like, not his hood, but his council or his
Oh shit, I can't remember. I don't.
And then we were like, where is this? Their territory. Bedok. Oh, then I was like, no, it must be Yishun lah. Sort of sus things.
No, but again, like this kind of characters, it's funny. It can be hokey, but like at least there's a distinct character, right?
Yeah. And like we said, like there is a rivalry there. You know that they are going at each other because they hate each other, right? But essentially, this match played out like everybody else die and lie one side, two people fight, and then switch out. That's the format of these battle royals, and I'm typically not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I know like Mighty was coming in as a 24/7 champion. The realistic thing to do would have to take him out first.
Yeah.
Eventually they did all try to team up to take him out, but then like they realized, okay, like I think easier to take out all the smaller size people. That's why Trickster died first. Probably.
No, okay. I was a bit like, I told this to Carl himself. I was like, bro, I didn't see a magic trick. I'm so upset. Like when you see Trickster, you expect some like cards flying or confetti bomb or whatever.
But what did he say?
He didn't have a reason lah. I think maybe he had to last minute book out just to do this or whatever.
Bro, when he take out his beanie, right, and show his like very cute, well combed hair, right?
I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, my girlfriend actually remembers him. So Ifa was saying like, wow, like he's good boy now. Then I'm like, I think the NS probably
obligations. That's right.
The NS obligation lah. Poor guy, like he can't go all out with his dyed hair and like crazy long hair. Yeah, bo pian lah. I understand. Yeah.
I've seen these guys like Iman wrestle in one-on-ones, and I would like to see more. I feel like we didn't.
Iman is a good prospect.
Yeah. But maybe this wasn't his time yet lah.
Yeah, my guy going to this match was obviously Referee Ryan.
Okay,
like,
I think crowd support, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you were there for Hardcore Island, you saw how over he was. And the story was continued into this match, right? Because eventually we had a surprise entrant in the Edgelord, Bryson Blade.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were talking about how, towards the later part of the night, both of them had big victories. So this was one of them.
Okay, so what you're alluding to here is the last two. It was Mighty Mighty versus Ryan, right?
Yeah.
And it was there was a bit of a miscommunication moment, I felt. Did you notice this? Because the entire battle royale was over the top rope. Both feet hit the ground, you're out, right? But the last two is pinfall or submission. And there was this very weird moment when I think Ryan was hanging off the top and Mighty Mighty was like trying to eliminate him. It was the last two already, right? Then they came on the PA system and said, oh, it's the final two and it's now pinfall or submission. And he was still hanging there like, they were a bit confused, I felt. I don't know what happened there. Did they forget that was the rule? But then I was like, bro, just let go lah. You can't be eliminated. The final two is pinfall or submission, what?
Yeah, I didn't like that, to be honest. I didn't like the final two, the way to win is by pinfall submission. They should have just kept it standardized because even I was confused. Like, why are they pinning? Like,
exactly.
Just kept it over the top row. I think it would have been more dramatic finish as well. And if like the H lot came in, and I know the way they did it eventually was a bit different. They had referee Ryan win and then like celebrate for like a few moments. And then H lot come and disturb. But I would not have done it that way. I would have rather Ref Ryan survive, outlast, somehow eliminates Mighty Mighty over the top rope. And as he's celebrating, imagine him on the top rope celebrating with the title. And then Bryson do a Shawn Michaels bulldog where he kind of like from the back sneak out, beat him, dump him over. That would have been a much more impactful finish in my opinion.
Right. So, okay. Then it brings up the other logic. And I don't know if we are just nitpicking, we're picking at nits here, but the logic of it, right? 24/7, it can be won at any time. So that was the whole explanation of how Bryson Blade could have come in and beat Ryan after Ryan already won the damn match, right? That's the whole explanation. But then immediately after, he's like, no, I'm changing the rules of this title. Now it's no longer 24/7. So I'm like, wow, champion can just change the rules anytime on the fly one. So shook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We interviewed him after the show and we kind of try to get his explanation. And he was like, yeah, this is now going to be named my title. I don't know what's going to be the name. Not 24/7 anymore. So even like, he doesn't know yet. Like, that's the vibe.
Yeah, to me, it felt a bit convoluted lah.
Yeah.
There were too many rotating rule sets. You had the over-the-top battle royal, but the last two is pinfall, and then but anybody can come out at any time. Then why didn't the people who got eliminated come back in and win the match? What? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. No, so that's the thing, right? Like, I like 24/7 title being like can defend it anywhere, can be a hardcore thing. Like, it does make it stand out from the other titles in SPW. Clearly, it's more of like a stepping stone title, more of like a preliminary title, and it does give a shine on all these like lower card wrestlers, right? But I feel like, again, Mighty Mighty had a good reign with it, but there wasn't because of the mechanics of the title. I couldn't take Mighty Mighty seriously. So with Bryson now becoming the champion, if he were to change the rule, I don't mind it becoming a non-24/7 title, like purely a title that you defend. But you need to establish some sort of like legacy, because you have to understand they have been the NBCB champion, then they call it 24/7. It's a lot of names, but I don't know. I think I don't take the title seriously, and I think we need a wrestler to kind of take it seriously for us to care about it in a serious way.
I agree with you 100%. Hopefully that guy is Blade. We'll see what he does with it. But yeah, exactly. To your point, this championship has been sort of like rule set changes. You don't even know what is going on here. And if we always say this, right? If there are no rules, then you cannot break the rules. If there's no logic, then people are not going to be able to follow through.
Yeah. That being said, I think Bryson has had a very strong year in SPW. Like, I know he was doing a lot of tag teaming with CK Vin, but like, to me, his breakout performance was that Singapore Kane match with Ref, because as much as Referee Ryan took a lot of punishment and was like a crazy babyface by the end of the night, Bryson did his part to be that despicable heel. And him winning, I think, is a great... I guess SPW acknowledges the work that he's done this year for him to become the title at the last show of the year.
And he stole it from Ryan, thus furthering their whole thing, right? And I don't know if you noticed this, but Blade was getting like Dominic Mysterio level boos. Like, he tried to talk, and then people are like, no, we don't want to hear you, boo.
I like it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so like for example, like how we complimented Cheeseburger for his reaction, like we gotta give props to Bryson because like the crowd was nuclear for him as well.
Yep.
So good job on that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So there you go. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like with so many people involved, it was destined to be a bit of a mess. But at least somebody stood out there. Let's talk about Aiden Rex versus Shun Skywalker.
All right. Oh my God, I got a lot of things to say about this match. Okay, can I set some context first?
Okay.
Because this was the match where my boss actually came. Yeah. So
he came for a good one.
He came for a good one. So I actually am not mad about this match. Like, bro, if like there's ever a match to like put in front of like a big boss and to impress him, like, oh, these guys are athletic, these guys are legit. Like, there's no one more legit on this card than like Aiden Rex and Shun Skywalker, in my opinion.
Yeah. I know Shun Skywalker has been here before, but he hadn't come down to SPW for quite a while. So this is like a completely new guy. And he, right off the bat, we talk about appearances matter, right? He looks impressive.
He's
got
huge.
The size, yeah. He got the double mask thing actually made people laugh.
Yeah. Giving Penta vibes.
Yeah, he comes up with a mask, right? And he take off the mask and another mask. Like, everyone laughs, yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. What was funny, though, was I think there was, once again, a bit of a miscomm. Seems like the theme of the night here, they announced this as the women's match.
Yes.
And they announced this as the women's match, the international women's match. And then they show the video of Shun. I'm like,
and I'm like, wait, is Shun going to be part of the women's match?
What? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, maybe I thought Shun was doing a promo for one of the ladies, but no, there was a bit of a miscomm lah.
Yeah, but again, like Shun, I've not really seen him or known much about him. I didn't even know what's the Skywalker story all about. His name, but like when he came into the ring, bro. Again, presentation, your gear, how you come across, like the size and everything. And my boss was sitting there, was like, hey, this Shun guy looks pretty legit, man. Like, where is he from? And I was trying to explain to him, like, he's an international wrestler. But I honestly thought, like, Aiden Rex looked good opposite him as well.
Oh, yeah. I only really personally had one issue with this match, and it was the dynamic of alignment.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
same old.
Shun comes out, immediately establishes himself as a heel. Right? He does heel things. He's a bit cocky. He's like, whatever, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. They do chain wrestling to start. Lots of, okay. So they did, because most of this event had so much, like, ringside wrestling, I kind of wish that they kept it in the ring. But no, they went, oh my God, they went even more. Because
there was a whole portion of the match where he was like fighting on one side of the ring. He stood up. Do you remember the part where he actually went on the guy's shoulder and I don't think the guy was prepared for it?
No, they like crumbled down. I must say, what is going on? And here's the thing, like technically I think both of them in the ring could have told a really good story. I don't think they needed to do all this crowd interaction. And there was this one point, and this will lead into why I think that ultimately the alignment thing became an issue for me, because at one point he went to a fan's kid, used the kid as a weapon against Aiden Rex.
That's
like
hilarious,
he lifted him up and then slammed his leg into Aiden Rex, quote unquote. It was funny, it was cool. And shouldn't only the faces do the cool and funny stuff?
Yeah, the heels should not have done that.
Yeah. So in that moment, Shun won over the crowd. Suddenly, the heel became the face. And Aiden Rex was still a face. So now, to me, that really made it a bit like, what's going on now? You don't know who to root for anymore.
But that's the problem with like indie wrestling, right? And I mean it in a very like objective way, right? Because a lot of the times they are just coming in for like a one shot. They're just doing their match and putting it out there. So I do get the mentality of, okay, if I'm an overseas wrestler, I'm coming in here, I'm just doing my match, and I'm done. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I'm gonna like entertain myself, pop myself, have fun. We've seen it later on with another wrestler. We're gonna talk about him in a bit. But I think that was essentially a case of Shun just kind of enjoying himself. And if the byproduct is the crowd gonna cheer for him, he's like, okay, whatever lah. But like that, I don't think the layout of the match mattered in that moment for him. Was it to Aiden's detriment? Perhaps. Like if he had used that moment to kind of like make Aiden want to defend the child, for example. That would be a great character building moment for Aiden. But as it goes, like Aiden had nothing character-wise to show. It was more of like trying to outlast him in the ring. So it became more of like a technical showpiece of a match.
It became a match to give Shun the shine. That's what I took away from the match. Oh, it's just an exhibition match to make Shun look good. Which, you know, he looks good. And they had great moments in the ring, right? It's just this outside, I felt like it was a bit unnecessary, considering that the other matches also had it.
So my question to you is, should Shun have defeated Aiden, like seeing as how Aiden is technically one of the top stars in SPW, came off a long title reign, and I think he needs to have big victories to stay relevant, but like does this loss kind of like bring down his standing a bit?
A little bit. I had that vibe. I had that thought as well. You know, I don't think that, Aiden should win every match, obviously, right? But this match did nothing to make me care more about Aiden. Let's put it that way.
Which is a sad thing because, like, even Hasif, you know, during the intermission was asking me this question, like, they don't let the Singapore wrestlers win in these matches.
They don't let.
It's a legitimate question from like a non-wrestling fan or like a casual, right? It's like, if I'm watching a local show, shouldn't all the local wrestlers kind of win? Like, yeah, I mean, there is a relevance. Even if they lose, it has to be in a way that like keeps them strong.
Yeah, like a fighting victory, like, he put on a really good fight, right? I mean, they did trade a lot of moves, don't get me wrong.
It was a lot of great false finishes. I think I put one that was like a shooting star press that Aiden did, and that should have been a win. And he did like a lot of, basically he did a lot of things that impressed my boss. My boss was like, oh, wow, this guy is super athletic.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I am a bit over this modern style of wrestling where we trade finishes, we trade high impact moves. I'm a bit over that. I would rather you tell a compelling story where a simple move can end. I actually like that BGJ killed Bryson Blade with a slap to the chest coming off the top rope. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? And I know this is gonna go against everything you just said, right? But like, I think Kenny Omega and Okada actually did a great job of doing that kind of match
in New Japan. You mean?
Yeah. Because I don't just some context, right? Like, they put over the One Wing Angel as this devastating move. The moment you hit it, the match ends.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. So like I know they had that best of 3 match, right? So the whole story of that series of matches was like, can Kenny Omega deliver the One Wing Angel? Because the moment he delivers it, he's over.
Yep.
So actually, beyond all the acrobatics and all the nonsense that they did, right? Like that story that they were trying to tell in that match, I would prefer if like a lot of wrestlers put over one move. Like, whatever happens, if RKO is dropped, it's over for everyone.
Yep.
Kevin Owens on SmackDown recently, one pile driver and it's over.
Oh, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but what, I knew it was a work, but I was still like,
yeah.
But anyway, yes, sorry.
Yeah. So again, like, if only like, you know, Aiden has a lot of great moves, right? Like his shooting star is a big deal. His armbar, I love his armbar transitions. Like, I wish like something he does will kill people off. Like, if Shun survives the shooting star by like moving out at the last minute and then gets the pin, then I'm fine. Yep. But he was kicking off a lot of finishes and I'm like,
no, it's a trope. It's a modern wrestling trope. You see this on AEW all the time.
Yeah. And again, the best reference point is to ask a casual fan, right? So I turned to my boss and I was like, oh, this match is wild, right? And then he was like, yeah, but didn't the guy do the finish already? Why is it still going on? He legitimately asked that question, bro.
Yeah.
And then he's like, does he have any other finishers? Then I'm like, no, that was the one. Then he was like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Like that make my brain like, yeah, bro. Like, that's the exact reason. And I think non-wrestling fans will ask all the best questions. And I think that was a really good question to ask. Like, why didn't he end the match?
Yeah, there you go. No, that's exactly it. Like, to your point, it's different if they build the whole match up to, like, you know, you are at WrestleMania and like that WrestleMania, you have plot armor, apparently. You can take 3 finishes and you still kick out, right? But at just a show, just a regular show, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, this was SPW's WrestleMania, so...
Sure, but like Shun is a new guy. It's not like we've been following his story for like, you know, the past few months and the story has been told, right? This is like something you're coming into completely blind and fresh and new. So like I said, I am just over the whole we trade high impact moves that could kill a man. and like act as if it's nothing.
Yeah, I do feel a bit bad for Eden because if our Singapore Wrestler Top 20 like period was like ended at the halfway through the year, he would have easily been like top 3 because like he was the long reigning champ. He's basically had the same kind of long title reign as like Wilson, right?
Yeah.
But like after he lost his title, after that blow off match at Hardcore Island, like his standing has fallen, to be really, really honest.
His
and
momentum was cut instantly.
Yeah, so I do hope that he does bounce back in 2025. I'm not sure in what way, but as of now, he's not the top guy in the company anymore.
Well, we'll have to wait it out and see. Shun won with a spin out powerbomb, which is a cool move, but it is what it is. All right, then we had intermission, and then oh god.
Your favorite match of the night.
Look, man, like, okay, can I just frame this, contextualize this by saying I am just not a fan of the Japanese style of comedy wrestling. We've seen the clips, like I don't use. You must have seen clips of this one wrestling show. Suddenly, one guy on the top rope pulls out a gun, and everybody like this campy play acting style of wrestling. I am just not a fan, so I refuse to rate this match as a pro wrestling match. I'm just not a fan of it, so don't at me, bro.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I'm usually a very objective guy. Like if I like it or if it's good.
Are you saying I'm not objective, bro? I just laid it out for you, contextualized it for you. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
You can't fault me for that.
No, but you know what Dave Meltzer would say? Dave Meltzer would say like, I'm not a fan of that kind of style of wrestling, but I think for that style, it's a good match. You know what I mean? Okay. But that being said, didn't enjoy this match at all. Like I mean, I'm not a beer drinker, so that doesn't do anything for me. Like you being, like going one corner and drinking and all that kind of stuff. It took a lot away from the match. I wanted to cheer for Alexis, right? I mean, clearly she's the local wrestler here. She's the only women's wrestler on this card from Singapore. I wanted it to be a kick-ass match. I wanted her to like show out,
Yeah.
But is it a question or is it an issue of like, because there's no competition for her in Singapore, like local wrestling wise in SPW, and like she's getting fed all these like Japanese wrestlers, and like it's hit or miss, right? You have good Japanese wrestlers, you have comedy Japanese wrestlers. If this was Riho versus Alexis Lee, it's gonna be a banger.
Haven't we seen that match? I feel like we have, and they put on a great match. It made sense. Like, when we talk about watching Riho in AEW, a lot of it doesn't make sense because you have these bigger size athletes selling for someone who's tiny. But Alexis and Riho, they are commensurate size. So it makes sense that their offense works on each other. In this case, it was more skit and play. Alexis did the whole, she had a couple of drinks and then she was drunk. I'm sorry, but anybody who has ever had drinks or been drunk knows that that's not how drunk people act. It came... You know what I mean? It's
your idea of a drunk person.
Yeah. It's very, to me, it's so hokey when you see it like in a skit or on television. Like, they drank 2 beers, suddenly they are like, I go pin the ref. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. And also another thing, my main issue is of course like Pom, right? I've never seen her perform before, right? And after seeing this match, I don't want to see her perform again. I can name like 5 other better Japanese wrestlers. And it's nothing against her. Like maybe it's because what she was told to do during this match, or this was the story they're trying to tell. Like it just didn't work for me. Like I couldn't get into it. And I switched out and it was quite sad because I Hasif and like the friend was like, I'm looking forward to the women's match. Like I want to see what they can bring, right? But not the best representation of women's wrestling that I would have showed them.
If you could read our thoughts, right? The 3 of us sitting there next to you, right? If you could read our thoughts, see the thought balloon, it would be question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah. It wasn't the right. And if this happened on any other SPW show, maybe I can like close one eye, like okay lah, whatever lah. But this was the anniversary show.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You talk about like we've seen Alexis do battle with other Japanese wrestlers before in actual proper like wrestled matches with some comedy spots. We're not saying that you should have no comedy spots whatsoever, right? But this was more comedy spot than wrestling.
Yeah. We've seen Alexis in better match situations.
Yeah.
She came across as a badass. We do not deny her talents in the ring. First local female wrestler. Like all those accolades. Like I feel like she needed to have a better showcase to do herself justice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um,
Bro, we just don't get it, bro. We are behind.
Yeah.
We are boomers. We don't get it.
Nah, bro. I'm a young millennial. Can you don't? I'm trying not to feel old. I'm trying to be in the crowd. Okay, but can anybody legitimately, and I'm being very objective here, right? Like, can anyone else legitimately explain to us what was the story that they were trying to tell in that match? Because from our point of view, watching it, we didn't get it. Like, we got that they're trying to tell this drunk person story, but like, what was the appeal of it?
Yeah, no, I get the idea. I just didn't enjoy that style of presentation of a match. And to be honest, I know what the appeal is. Drunk people cheering on girls doing stupid shit.
And you know what's the thing that kind of annoyed me about this match?
It's sorry to cut you off, but I hate saying this, but it felt like lowbrow entertainment.
Mm.
Mr. Young is so atas. He thinks he's so lowbrow. I can hear it now, brother. I can hear it now.
We'll see what the rest of the wrestlers say. But one thing I didn't like about this match as well, I think I'll just end it here lah. Like I love Sodiq, right? Sodiq's like my bro, right? Love him a lot.
He flirting, bro. He flirting with Pom.
Bro, the flirting I can take. Like, okay, fine. Distracted by a pretty Japanese girl, fine. But that 20 count, bro. Was it even a 20 count? I don't know. At one point, he wasn't even 100. Counting, bro.
It was 100, bro. No, I mean, that type of thing. Well, also, since when does SPW do 20 counts? I thought it was a 10 count.
No, I don't know.
I got confused.
I got confused as well. So, like, again, everything, a lot of elements on this match, like, just didn't come together the way maybe they hoped for, or maybe we saw it. Like, we didn't come together for us. So, yeah.
It is what it is. Once again, I think we'll leave it at this is just not our style of match that we enjoy. So I'm not even going to give it a rating when we do our ratings.
Yeah, it was my lowest rated match of the night. That's all I was going to say.
Let's talk about the Singapore title, the SPW Singapore Championship on the line. Black Arrow versus Dr. Gore versus Ho Ho Loon versus Carlo Cannon.
Yes.
Okay, so we talk about presentation and initial, pass the eye test. The second Carlo Cannon comes out, everyone's like, whoa. He got that Rhino vibe, that don't mess with, almost Jacob Fatu vibe also.
Yeah, I think everyone here in this match aesthetically was great, right? Like you got Black Arrow with his passion and his, badass attitude. You got his support from his friends.
A bit of a daredevil attitude. Let's also put that out there.
Yeah. A bit fearless, but if you've survived like a major illness, I think probably like nothing can phase you anymore. Like fuck it, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
Sure.
Not just him, right? You got Dr. Gore again. His partner is going for the main title, but he's going for this championship. Could be a great showcase for him. And then you got Ho Ho Loon, right? And again, when they mentioned a former WWE superstar, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot he was a WWE superstar.
Yeah, he was in the Cruiserweight Classic for a bit.
Yeah. So, and then of course, Carlo Cannon, the current MyPW champion. You got some legit beef and some legit credibility in this match, right? Yeah. So, but
again,
that being said, yes.
Again, though, it was another multi-man match, and it's very hard to really get into a multi-man match like that. But I get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to give us more bang for our buck, right? Bring in bigger names, more names, especially at their anniversary show.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carlo, essentially, you have your monster. Then Ho Ho is sort of like that comedic role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Arrow is more of the risk-taking high flyer role.
Babyface. And maybe, I don't know whether it's the right term, but Dr. Gore more of like the ring general. I think he was kind of the glue that brought everyone together.
Yes. Yes.
Minus the checking prostate kind of segment, which I was like, okay.
How is that not a disqualification, by the way? Isn't that a low blow technically?
Well, it's not on the actual private side of the low blow, maybe.
Bro,
maybe that's
what you talk about? Everything from the waist down here is private, okay? Are we really getting into the semantics of what is a low blow? Okay, the groinal area, low blow. The perineum, low blow.
Yeah.
The
in
chocolate
football,
starfish.
In football, we always say follow the referee's whistle. So in this scenario, Sony didn't do anything. So we were like, okay, no, Not a low blow, I guess.
You know, there's a move in amateur wrestling called checking the oil.
No, I don't know about this. What's this?
It's literally okay. Hang on, I need to Google it to make sure.
No,
I get this
don't
right.
show this.
I'm not going to show.
Okay, please don't show this. Just say it out. It's fine.
Checking oil, like oil check. Okay, intentionally aiming to shove your finger/thumb in your opponent's rectum. Illegal if seen. Also dirty.
This is a fight move.
This is apparently a thing that in amateur wrestling, like they want to, like, you know,
wild.
when they grab, it's a legit. I've heard of it before. No, I've seen.
This is wild. Well, that aside, okay, I got some issues with this match, right? Like, I just felt there was a lot of unnecessary dangerous moves.
Yep.
You know, Carlo Cannon is a beast, right? Like, I love when he was doing his suplexes. He was like kind of like being the Brock Lesnar in this match. I just thought that suplex out of the ring, where like Black Arrow almost landed on his neck, or kind of landed on his neck, but was like thankfully protected by like the wrestlers below. Like, it was just unnecessary.
The spot you're talking about is Carlo Cannon grabbed him from the back, right? German suplex, but German suplex, just picture this German suplexing him out of the ring over the top rope. However, Black Arrow didn't quite clear the top rope. So instead of landing onto the ground where all the wrestlers are waiting, there to catch him, right? Mm-hmm. Instead, he sort of seesaws off the top rope, lands or was going to land neck first on the apron, but the referee was there. Referee made a very good call. I have to commend this referee. He was like realizing, okay, he is not going to be able to freaking clear that top rope. He moved forward and softened the landing.
Yep. Kudos
great
to the
spot.
Referee. Great save.
Yep.
Terrible spot.
I meant spot as in spotting the referee. Yeah, no. Yeah. Unnecessary. I wouldn't say it's a terrible spot. I think it's an unnecessary spot.
Yeah, unnecessary. I also felt like again, Black Arrow took a lot of unnecessary chances, but again, this maybe was in line with his character.
It is.
He does do a lot of like moonsaults from the top rope. That's what he does. But again, like that to me personally, that takes me away from the match. Like, I want to watch a wrestling match, but I don't want the wrestlers to be in danger. Like, I can get invested in the match even without them doing crazy shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe somebody like him, that's his style that appeals to a crowd that loves like awe-inspiring moves, but not for me lah. So like, I actually enjoyed CKV. Sorry, I went ahead of myself. I actually enjoyed Dr. Gore's performance in this match the most. Yep. Mm-hmm. I thought he was a great, again, like he felt like the Dolph Ziggler of this match. Yep. Like he kind of was the glue that kept everything running very smoothly. Do you want to talk about Ho Ho Lun though?
Okay, so I mean, to talk about Ho Ho Lun, right? We talk about it. He was playing the comedy role, which is fine, you know, especially in a menagerie like this. You had several different roles being played. You have the monster, you have the glue, you have the high flyer, and you have the comedy role, which is fine. Yep. What kind of bothered me was the finish. So we have to talk about CK Vin finally cashing in his contract, right? He had a contract for the Singapore Championship, like Money in the Bank style, think that. And he made it a 5-way, as it were. And of course, he picked his spot. He did it when everyone was sort of like, outside dying, finished already, you know, to come in to try to pick up the pin. What was... And I don't know if it's because, you know, like it was right in front of us so I can see it clear as day. But you had Ho Ho sort of talking to some of the fans, trying to analyze the contract. And I get that it's like his whole comedic role. But it's like, it made the match feel unimportant. When things were going on in the ring, the pin was being done. Like, it's like you go in and make the save, right?
I just felt like, again, remember I brought the situation about Shun Skywalker. Like maybe for them, this is like a one shot. You know, they're doing a foreign show. This is just a one-off thing for them. And maybe they can afford to have a bit of fun and not kind of like be too serious in the match. But this was a case of like, I think that detracted away from us being in the, like focusing on the stuff in the ring, that's fine. But like, because of what he was doing, like kind of hanging out with the audience, like playing with the beer and all that, like our attention was distracted to that, and that made us lose focus in the match.
And you know, I love that you put it that way because it actually explains something to me. and we'll talk about it in the next match as well, because I felt like by the end of the night, people are there to have fun. That's important. I'm not denying that, right? But I felt like people were there to have fun more than being invested in the match and the story being told. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because it got to a point where the crowd was just rowdy and chanting for the sake of chanting, as opposed to being invested in the story being told. In a lot of cases.
And I think maybe that's like the overrunning thread about this event. Like, there were some great matches. There were some matches that we had issues with, but like, I do not know. Maybe other than the main event, whether the crowd was like really invested in. Oh, okay. I mean, Jack and Cheese for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack and Cheese was definitely, they were invested in them as characters, but like,
Yep.
there wasn't any other match where like the crowd was invested in the story.
Yeah. Are we okay? So then that begs the question, right? Are we taking this shit too seriously?
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The argument is that you come out to a wrestling show, you have fun. Like, why are you taking this so seriously, guys?
I mean, SPW's mission statement was like, I think Freud said it very well at the start of the show, right?
Yeah.
This is for you to come over after a long week at work, for you to distress, relax, and have fun. That's fine. But I guess because we're kind of grading the events and trying to kind of be objective and be journalists and all that, blah, 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 then I think it's fair for us also to kind of highlight what we didn't like about it. I mean, we don't want to just angkat and say, oh, everything is great, everything is fine. Like,
Sure.
I mean, let's just talk about how we really feel, and whether people agree or disagree. I think it's fine as well. I think that's a great part about like discourse, right?
For sure. So, okay, back to the match itself. Like I said, CK Vin came in, cashed in the contract, went for the pin. You know, all the other participants were down already. Like, I think Gore and Cannon were laid out, right? Ho Ho Lun was arguing semantics about the contract instead of going in to try to win the damn belt, which to me took away a lot from the importance of the match. But we have a new Singapore champion, and that guy is CK Vin.
Yeah, so walk me through the ending, because I can't remember from the top of my head, like, what did Black Arrow retain the title and then CK Vin cash in, or was it like halfway through the match then CK Vin entered?
It was a 5-way. He made it a 5-way. There was no winner. It was not a one-on-one, which, I mean, if you want to argue that doesn't make sense, whatever lah, but it is what it is. Everyone was kind of laid out.
So CK Vin cashing his contract, I think finish it out with I would call it a Michinoku driver on Black Arrow.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Definitely a very, very impressive way to finish off the match. And, we've interviewed CK Vin, we've had it on the show, we know he's called us B1, B2, if you remember that.
Yes.
We do love his character, and I think he's one of the standout, especially among the younger crop of SPW wrestlers, right? Well deserved. I think as a Singapore champion, that elevates him a lot. And I like the fact that him and Bryson Blade had that Horus moment that we thought the Horus was going to have.
Yeah.
That was a nice swerve. I like that.
Yeah. They basically stood on the ring, the ramp area pose with their 2 titles, and they're a tag team that now they both have titles. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with that.
Yeah. Again, it's great that SPW is pushing younger stars.
Yeah.
And I think they are putting their money or their push behind the right people, because I feel like both Bryson and CK has so much potential for sure. Yeah. And we talk about how CK Vin is looking so much better. Yeah. Like he got more Jack bro for this show. I definitely saw the difference. So kudos to him for sure.
Let's talk about the SPW Southeast Asia Championship match. You had the Statement versus the Butcherman. All right, so this is the big one, the main event. And to me, the best match of the night lah. You talk about a match that, because like we talked about, this was the one that actually got me to care about the wrestlers.
Yeah.
You talk about that.
Yeah, you also talk about how like this gave you like Cody Roman feels, right?
So yes, because of the promos, right? Like Andrew's, I mean, a Statement, he does the what he does in terms of like with the multiple women comment. That was what kicked off a lot of the STD chants, okay, throughout the night. For better or for worse, I feel like that might have overtaken the emotion of the match.
Yeah, that took over.
So to me, that is that fine line of it becoming a joke. And people are just chanting STD for the sake of like, ha ha ha, we're drunk and we're having fun. As opposed to actually investing in the Butcherman's win, which should have been the main story here. You know what I mean? Like, imagine WrestleMania main event, Cody versus Roman, and the crowd is chanting STD.
Do you think like Statement style of promo, like, it's getting too tiresome?
I don't know if tiresome is the word, but it's what he's done for many, many years. So I don't know if, you want to rework it or do something different, but it's worked for him. So
the thing is, right, of course we all know what he's known for. Like Ric Flair, everybody knows he wants to do that, crazy promo where he's bragging and being arrogant and all that. But I just think because of the nature of this match, the story, the history, I kind of wish Statement took it seriously. Not say that he doesn't take his matches seriously, but like in the promo delivery before the match, I wish he suddenly was like, yeah, Butcherman, like I've always known that you are going to be my rival. I've seen you grow, like talk about his history and then talk about, like I might be a lot of things, I live a different lifestyle than you, but like basically basically say the same thing that Butcher said, but from his point of view to give the gravitas to this match.
And to that point too, because Statement did the usual promo that he did, right? I was expecting the Midnight Bastards to be with him because that's what he would have done. That Statement character would have done. If he went and did that promo you just suggested and then not shown up with the Midnight Bastards, which is what happened, that would have made perfect sense. Because then he would have put it out there that, yeah, I get it. I don't like you, but I respect you. We have different lifestyles. We have clashing values, blah, blah, blah. But I still want to test myself with you one-on-one.
I think that would have been a great way to also explain, like you said, the lack of interference from Midnight Bastards. Or if Midnight Bastards was to still appear after he said all those horrible things, it would have been a dastardly heel move and would have been perfect as well, right?
Yes, I think it would have built that story more. Now, the reason I brought up Cody Rhodes was watching the Butcherman's promo, right? Yep, I watched that promo on Instagram. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, like, where has this guy been? I mean, we've talked to him in person. We know that he's a very well-spoken fella, it's not like it's anything new to us. But there is this likability that comes across when he's just being him. And
okay, the comparison to Cody is great, but I would even offer another comparison, which I think is even better, a better comparison. Bro, he's Mick Foley, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. Like, Mankind is his like rambling stuff that he does as a Butcherman. But like that promo was like, wow, that's like Mick Foley defending the honor of his kids.
Yes. Yes. No, that's a great point. That's a great point. So to me, this felt like then Mick Foley versus Triple H.
Oh yeah, Mick Foley versus The Rock, Royal Rumble. And again, like, him talking about like, I would say traditional Singaporean values. Like, I love one woman, I love my wife.
Yeah.
She's been there supporting me. Like, even though I don't have the abs, I don't look like you, but like, he made a very funny joke that caused the STD chant. Something about like,
so you can keep your STDs, I will keep my wife. Something like that,
he literally said that, right? So you can keep all your STDs, which is hilarious. So I think generally like that set the tone. Like that made me so invested in the match. And again, easy reference point. You look over to Hasif and his friend, and they were like, "Whoa, I don't know anything about him, but now I get." And Hasif even said after the show, he was like, "Can you explain to me what is this Butcherman story? Because I kind of got it from show, but I would love to know more." Like the fact that you can pick somebody's interest who doesn't know anything about SPW to like want to know more about Butcherman's story. I think that's a credit to them.
All I can say is, right, after watching the promos and what he did, I wish I wish to see more well-spoken Butcherman. As opposed to, the rambling stuff, the rambling crazy man is cool and everything, but I'm like I don't know.
Yeah.
The well-spoken Butcherman is a guy I can get behind, like a Mick Foley.
Yeah, I agree. And Butcherman, I feel like if you take out Eden Rex, you take out Statement, who else can be a top star? Honestly, Butcherman as a natural baby face, and his aura, his appeal, his moveset. I love his moveset, by the way. Everything's perfect. And I think they made the right decision with the result.
Yes. Also, I pointed this out, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this match featured the first collar and elbow tie-up of the night, which is kind of crazy to me.
Now like this match is a serious traditional wrestling match when that's being busted out.
And the crazy thing is, I was like, oh shit, finally I'm not saying that nobody else wrestled, but I'm like, it was so chaotic. The rest of the card was so chaotic. That
The
felt refreshing to me.
the match was a great pace. Like there was a slow moment at the start. They built up to it, and by the kind of like the midway through the match, you can legitimately see them both tire out,
Yeah.
and that actually played into the match because I remember when they did the Canadian Destroyer, I was so worried because like it wasn't a smooth delivery of the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
But in the context of the match, how late into the match they were and how tired, it makes sense that it kind of was like wasn't perfect. And like to me, like Statement, what he did really, really well in this match was like he put all the heat on him so that the crowd was like even more invested in wanting to see Butcherman win.
I get why they didn't bring out the Midnight Bastards. I wish they led up to it in a more obvious way. Like you talked about the promo, you know, the fact that he's been aligned with these guys. They are this faction that's going to like take over, and then suddenly the big match, the two of them are just not there. Like they didn't even try. Like I said earlier, they could have shown up, but Dr. God chased them away or something like that, you know, at least to keep it quote unquote honorable.
Yeah, I would have preferred a Dr. Gore appearance. Like make it like WrestleMania 40 lah. Dr. Gore coming in to save the day, stopping Maces.
No, but
that clusterfuck would have worked.
Dr. Gore was there at ringside. I don't know if you noticed the whole time. So I don't know if that's the excuse, like, oh, he was there, so the Midnight Bastards didn't there. But I don't know. I don't think so.
Overall, do you think that distracted away from the finish, or you thought like the way it kind of finished was okay?
You know what? I thought the finish was, it came kind of out of nowhere, but not in a good way. Does that make sense?
You were expecting more build up, climax to the finish.
Yeah. But then it just happened and I was like, oh, so okay. And maybe that's a good thing. I pride myself, and this is a weird flex. Whenever we go to these wrestling events, right? I pride myself in knowing when the finish is coming so I can film it down and put it in a highlight reel.
Okay.
Like, and most of the time, I'm like 90% quite accurate. Okay, the finish is happening. There you go. I got it on camera, right?
Nice.
This one, I literally was like, oh, shit. I'm like, I didn't hit record. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not predictable.
The wasteland out of nowhere. It felt like a wasteland out of nowhere to get a win. Expected Statement to kick out at one time. But again, I don't hate it because like I do want one finish and one finisher to end everything, right? If I were the one to book this match, I wish they had done a wasteland off the top rope to like really deliver it with finality, bro. You know what I mean?
It's like the WrestleMania moment lah. Like you know how you only at WrestleMania you kick out of the big finish, but then you have to do a souped up version of the top rope or a triple or whatever.
Imagine if Statement had him on the ropes, he went on top and then like delivered like the 10 punches. Like I hate you, you will never be champion, you suck. Go back to tag team, blah blah blah. And as he was doing all that, he was so busy and imagine he posed to everyone. And that one moment of delay was the opportunity that Butcherman needed to kind of like transition him into like the fireman carry position and then do a slamming wasteland off the top rope. That would have been like perfect. Would have been perfect.
Match of the night, I think we can both agree to that. Yeah,
I would say match of the night. A close second would have been Shun and Aiden, purely from a technical perspective. But emotion-wise, and can also pay tribute to Butcherman's his journey this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tag team champion, double champs.
Yeah, a great speech at the end as well. Like I said, like I hope to see more heartfelt Butcherman, and also 2025. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to see more Statement versus Butcherman, but I think there could be a very interesting story being told. You have two very strong narrators orators on the mic in the Butcherman and Dr. Gore. And
are we finally going to see that match?
I would like to see that. I think it would be so good. And I want to see Butcherman cry. I mean, not in that, when he finally gets backstabbed by the... You know what I mean? That story kind of writes itself, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think they can pull it off emotionally. Yes, sorry.
But by this time, when the podcast drops, would we have a new champion? Would the reign last only a few days?
No lah. No, okay, you are alluding to the fact that over the weekend, SPW, they are doing a event for the migrant workers, right?
Deepavali show, yeah.
Yeah. It's happening actually
It's happening tonight.
Right now, tonight. Later tonight, as we record this on a Sunday. So you never know. In fact, let me just show you the card real quick. this is the match that's happening, right?
And they have Carlo, they have Hoholu all in the match as well.
Correct. So it's a 4-way for the SPW Southeast Asia Championship.
Love it. And I think it's a great initiative that they've done yearly on a yearly basis. But bro, like Butcherman as the top champion for SPW, I think well deserved. I think I saw a lot of plaudits being given his way.
Yep.
Not just from SPW wrestlers, even like Grapplemax wrestlers were paying tribute to him. I saw Big Dave putting out a post. I saw Showtime. He is literally the undisputed like people's champion for Singapore. But that leads me to my next question, bro. Singapore wrestler top 20, bro.
Oh.
With this victory, where do you think Butcherman could possibly end up?
I mean, he's had a very good year. Let's just put it that way. And of course, if you're following us on the list, as it were, the list of foreign.
The list of foreign. So if you want to know more, 1st December, that's our tentative date, or more or less is the confirmed date. We will put out an announcement for the event. I hope all our listeners and some of the wrestlers can come down, where we will officially announce or unveil our top Singapore wrestler top 20 list. We will count down all the way to number 1, and based on this last round of events, local wrestling promotion shows, Grapplemax has one more, right? Like we alluded to.
Yes.
Once then we'll lock up the lists and we will unveil it all on 1st December, bro.
I can't wait. Everybody's had a very interesting year, to say the least. And, if anything, it's to celebrate all the wrestlers that have put in so much hard work through the year.
Agreed.
That said, all right, we're going to hit you with some highlights and interviews from the SPW Crowning Glory this past Friday. We managed to speak to some people, including Blade, including Butcherman himself, the statement also, and there was a little bit of a tension We had to do the whole pull apart and everything. Yeah, you gotta watch this stuff. All right, it's kind of crazy. Anything can happen in a pro wrestling event, okay? And plus, least we forget, we got to finally speak with Hasif in a wrestling event, and live on camera, he's going to share with you his thoughts about the event and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to hit you with that. And then come back after that, because we got Wilson, Hotshot in the house. He's going to help us preview Grapplemax's Pro Wrestling Festival that's happening this upcoming Saturday. Coming off an incredible SPW Crowning Glory is Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building.
Hey, come. We got our sponsor of the podcast in the house, Hasif. Get in here. First time at a pro wrestling event. Hasif, how did it feel being here today?
Oh my god, I'm so amazed. I enjoy it very much. Yes.
So what do you think of the pro wrestling community?
Oh my god, the crowd is crazy. How they react and the response and the chanting.
What kind of crazy chants?
Yeah, STD, what the hell? the chant of the night was STD.
It really was.
Oh my god, thank you so much, guys.
No worries,
I really enjoyed this. Thank you. All the best.
And thanks for sponsoring.
Come on, I love to be part of the community. Thank you.
Okay. Any plugs you want to give a shout out to anybody who's listening right now?
No, I love when I see people are passionate about something, and I truly understand why, and continue be interested in whatever you do, be passionate about something you do.
Yeah. We are here with Dr. Gore.
Yes.
Okay, so your match, not exactly the outcome you wanted, but at the end of the night, your best friend, the Butcherman, became a champion. What are your thoughts right now?
You're gonna make me cry.
Good.
Yeah. I think that the Butcherman represents whatever Singapore always dreams of. Everyone in Singapore always tells you can't do this.
Yep.
You can't do that. Butcherman proves that whatever they say you can't, you can. That's all I have to say.
So what does this mean for your tag team? You guys are champions right now. He's got another title to contend with. Do you think that changes the dynamic a little bit?
No, I don't think it changes any of our dynamics. I don't think it changes our passion. That's what we're built on. In fact, the next week, we're not resting.
Oh?
We have 24 hours of sleep. Rest. And then we are going to perform for the migrant workers.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And then next week, we are taking a transportation to Malaysia. Where we're going to defend it against the Juicy Boys.
Oh, shit.
The Wonder Wave Boy,
Crazy.
Andrew, and Rahil. Yeah.
Love it, love it.
Thank you.
And of course, there's also a number one contender, a tag team on the horizon, right?
yes.
At the start of the night, Jack and Cheese, the crowd's loving them. So, what do you think about that coming match?
To be honest, I'm actually very jealous.
Oh, wow.
I'm very
Jealous?
jealous because you guys can hear how much the fans love Jack and Cheese.
Yeah, for
But at the same time, I'm reminded that is the support I needed last time when we were in the horrors. There's our support that we still get. And my jealousy is also, how do I put this word?
Like a fuel, like a motivation.
Not really. My jealousy is also like, I'm very proud of them.
Oh, okay.
Because I did Graveyard Shift.
Right.
And Jack and Cheese made their debut there.
That's true.
And I had a lot of fun fighting Graveyard Shift, and I will continue to want to compete Graveyard Shift.
Awesome.
That's what I love. That's why I love this.
Yeah.
Because I love this not because I want to fight people. I love this because everyone's just like, we're going up.
I love it.
We're going up. We're going up.
Actually, I want to...
Up the nose. Excuse me. Hey, have you washed your thumb? That's what we want to know because just now a bit like the prostate check,
So this one, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Alamak, you see now I died again. Because of Mr. Young.
STD.
It's not my first rodeo.
STD.
Very important. Okay. Graveyard Shift, right?
Right.
Peace Center, that was a memorable big thing that you guys did. But like, you also technically have started or created your own like indie show with
Oh, thank
Graveyard
you.
Shift. This
Thank you.
whole series, right? What's that for the future? What do you have in mind for Graveyard Shift?
I would say that it's sooner than 2025. I would say stay tuned to my wonderful partners at Playpen. I would say stay tuned to the art community. Graveyard Shift. How long can I go on this? Graveyard, yeah. I grew up with Baybeats. I grew up with the graffiti scene. I want to bring that spirit back into art because pro wrestling is art. So I would say that please stay tuned to support not just Graveyard Shift, but support every single local artist who's trying to make a scene. That's what I'm going to have to say.
And one last thing for Kick to the Guts, right? As we go into 1st of December, we are actually gearing up for the Singapore Wrestler Top 20. Our SW20 list. This is going to be the last batch of shows that we are going to review. And we're going to like settle and confirm the list soon, right?
Okay.
So based on tonight, where do you think you're going to end up on the list?
Where do I think I'm going to end up on this?
Yeah, what do you think?
Can I be honest?
Yes.
I don't care.
There
I
you
don't
go.
care.
There you go.
I don't care where I end up on the list. I care more about the list of people who come to this show.
There you go.
I don't really care. I mean, of course, I appreciate people's affirmation.
Right, yes.
But I also care not just about like PWI 500. I care about 500 seaters sold out in every single show.
Nice.
But thank you guys. Thank you guys for your hard
A
work.
true fan, a true fan.
Can we say that we've come a very long way?
We've
by the
come,
way,
yes.
From our initial interaction.
Oh yeah.
OGs, y'all remember? Y'all remember? Yes.
Can you remind him in front of like...
Yeah, it's okay lah. He's obviously changed his ways.
I have obviously changed, and that's why I'll say thank you to everybody who supports Kick to the Gut, who supports Singapore Pro Wrestling, and who supports pro wrestling in Singapore. Mr. Young,
Yes.
Farhan, thank you guys.
Thank you. Woo!
Mr. Young, I got one thing that you need to do.
What?
Hold this microphone.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh, what?
Bro! STD.
All right. It's Foreign in the building with the new 24/7 champion.
It's not 24.
Ooh. Okay, let me correct myself.
I don't know what it is. It's mine. That's
Okay,
what it is.
it's
It's mine.
yours. Okay, is
I
it-
stole this belt and I removed that stupid tape. And what does MBCB means?
Nabechibui? No? No?
Who the hell put this on the belt?
I have no idea, man. You should call it the Age Lot Championship. I think that's a better one.
No, I should destroy it.
Okay.
I should break this thing
Oh, damn. Okay.
so he can have it.
all right.
It's not about what I want.
Okay.
It's about what he doesn't get to have.
Awesome.
That makes me happy.
Okay, I know you have like a he who shall not be named. I can't mention his name. But you know, the last time I saw you, you were like delivering some punishment to him.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah.
the fact that now you have some title as like a does it make up for whatever happened?
In fact, it does. In fact, I am in a much better place right now, as you can tell. And even though my joy came from his suffering, time to move on.
I see. Okay, cool. Yeah. So
I don't believe you talked to that guy. What a jackass.
oh shit, bro.
He's like the worst person in the universe.
You went toilet, is it? I was like left alone. Then he come to me.
I saw you talking to him. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that noise.
Okay. I appreciate it. No worry, I took care of it.
Clown.
No,
Clown.
No worry, it's all good. Yeah.
And the new SPW Southeast Asia champion, the Butcherman. How does that sound, my friend?
Semakena Makoto Bosama.
We need what glasses? Glasses? Okay.
Cannot. Sorry, my one very high. Okay, carry on.
Ni hao ma.
Hey, the wrong glasses lah. Hey, how about this one? This one. This one.
Alamak. Yeah, never mind.
Hi guys.
Thank goodness. I can't see, by the way, but hey,
Um,
it's all good. Tell me about this championship win. What does it mean to you?
so there's a lot of love that's pouring out of me, and love you too. I love my podcast fam.
Hey.
So I just want to let everybody know whoever was told that you can't do what you love to do. Me winning this, I hope, is proof that you can do what you believe in.
Can I also ask, like, how important is your wife as a support for everything you've gone through in wrestling? You know, my partner is here as well, being part of this journey as well. So I can relate. So how does it feel to have her by your side for this championship win?
Love you. Baby, I did it. I did it for us. Like, she was there at my debut match, and like we haven't even met each other at the time. But then when we actually got together, the first show that she watched me in as a couple was in this building. So this building has a lot of history, and of course this accomplishment. It's amazing, like really, really. But I think the greatest accomplishment in my life is marrying her.
I have nothing else to say after this.
Talk to us about the future, the road ahead. I know you just won the title. You want to, go back and celebrate and all that. But with the title comes challengers. Who do you see on the horizon that could be in the way?
So I think I have to say this with all the passion and fire inside of me. So I'm just gonna take the glasses off for a while. Eskemala bakanjamo bosu. Pinabakatsamo. Kunsamakatsama. All is welcome.
Yes.
All is welcome. Come at the
Sorry,
champion.
my Duolingo, like, I haven't leveled up to your level yet. I don't understand his language, but it's all good. Wait, I got one question as well, right? This is one thing we asked to your tag team partner, Dr. Go, right? Now you're a double champ, you're a tag team champ, and you are the SPW Southeast Championship. How are you going to manage that schedule, bro? How are you going to manage in terms of being a tag team title contender as well as a champion, singles champion?
So, chasing this championship, I know that the responsibility is going to be very big. So, if I have to defend both titles on the same show, I will. Just because I have a responsibility as double champion, and also I have a responsibility to those who brought me to this point, like all the people who believed in me. So, I'm not going to back down from any fight. Whatever challenges come.
I love it. Last question. As you guys know, Kick to the Gut is you're putting out our Singapore Wrestler Top 20. And this big title win and this big victory, a very high chance, bro. Where do you see yourself ending up on that list? We asked this question to Dr. Gore. He was being very coy, but I think you know and you're confident of yourself as well.
So, I think at the beginning of the year when you guys announced the awards, I was like, if I'm not like somewhere at the top 3, like I feel I've disappointed myself. So I hope that you guys and those fans of yours, the community, I hope you guys can support me, and I hope I can be number 1.
There you go. Awesome. Any last words for the fans and going into 2025 as your SPW Southeast Asian champion?
And we are here with the former SPW Southeast Asia champion. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It's still very fresh. Statement, Andrew, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling right now?
My thoughts. I just went through a war. I went through war with the Butcherman, and he gave me everything that he got. He brought out the best in me, and I definitely unleashed something in him because I made it personal. But the thing is, the times when he was down, I believed in him. And the times when I feel like, I don't have it anymore, that I may not want to do wrestling anymore, that I'm sick and tired of going inside the ring and being the statement on the night, like on every pay-per-view. Yeah. But he told me and he believed in me, and that he knew that I still have it. and it's something that I still want to go on. And tonight's a special night, 12 years of pro wrestling. The fans were crazy. The reaction was mind-blowing. We told a story, you know, just two local guys going out there, face versus heel, the underdog versus the god. But tonight, the underdog won. He got, maybe the stars aligned, but in 2 days' time, I'm gonna get the SPW Southeast Asia Championship back at Dormitory Showdown. And then, the 30th of November, I'm gonna face this piece of shit over there. The setup open weight champion, the champion of Thailand. And once I beat you and get that championship, I'll be the champion of Thailand. I'll be the champion of the lady boys, the only country with tons of lady boys. They believe in the lady boys. Ha! And I'll be the champion of them all. And you, are you a lady boy or a man?
I'm a man,
You gotta prove it to me on 30th of November at Setup Beach.
We're gonna dance.
Yeah.
We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, yes. But you're not gonna beat me. You're not gonna beat me again. Last time you...
Beat you, I'm gonna get your championships, and then I'm gonna breed all your women in Thailand. Ha 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 ha! And if they don't breed me, I mean, I don't let them breed me. I'll pay cash. Yeah.
This man is crazy. But I'll see this man next week though.
I'm gonna beat you for this too. I beat you last time.
And I came close though. I came close though. You know.
You always come close,
like
don't
Dana
you?
White.
I come close every time.
Yeah, but you never finish.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm holding the title too. You know, right?
Because he's a lady boy.
No, I'm not a lady boy. I'm a
You're a
man.
Thai. You're a lady boy. Get the fuck out of my
Hey,
face.
after Thailand's done, after he goes there, we'll both be holding championships. and you'll
Yeah.
have nothing.
We're gonna conquer.
Oh,
We're gonna
what are we gonna do
conquer.
about it? What are we gonna do?
Let's see in the
Beat all the
ring.
guys up.
I don't like to
And
talk
then
too
I'll
much.
take all the ladies.
right now.
Go. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's not you right now.
go.
Huh? What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit.
Let's go then, you short ass motherfucker.
Let's go. Then you lost to a short ass motherfucker. Huh?
Let's go.
You lost to a Let's go.
Hey, I give you the first shot, motherfucker. I give you the first fucking shot. I give you the first shot. Let's go. Let's go, motherfucker. Let's go, you fucking pussy. Come on. Give me the first shot. Come on.
Alright, come.
3 weeks. Do you enjoy watching from the
Things
crowd?
are heating up. Things are.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. Next week, your asses is mine.
Hey, look, when it's done in 3 weeks, can we get a photo together holding our new championships here? Yeah. You can sit at home playing with your little lady boy. And you'll only always just come close.
Come close.
It's funny, bro. Nice sandals, bro. Did you get them from Jesus or something? Start praying. What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna walk on water. You need more miracles than that to beat us.
I am your god. Yeah.
This is the tag team you didn't know you wanted. You ain't nothing, bro. What are you gonna do? What? You ain't got nothing. Maybe we should tag here.
Yeah, man.
That means motherfucker in Thai.
Okay, I just went to Bangkok. I love Thailand. You know, great.
We do.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
people, land of a thousand smiles.
Yeah, I love
you
the
know.
nasi pataya. Wait, that one Bangkok or?
What?
Yeah, no, what?
Okay, so
Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
anything can happen in a wrestling event.
Actually, we have not done with our interview with Statement because
I think he's very done.
No,
with
we got one last thing we wanted to ask.
We do. Oh.
Okay. So one thing that Butcher said right in our podcast last week, he was saying that you were actually his first trainer. You are the one that actually trained him at the beginning of SPW.
Yeah.
So can you just talk about like that whole journey, 12 years later, seeing his growth?
Yeah, it's a remarkable growth, man. Butcherman is one of the most respected wrestlers on the roster. I have so much respect for him because, over time he became a very good wrestler. And, at times when I'm down and out or I'm busy, he's always taking time and taking the effort to be a trainer to all the younger boys. He's really a role model. To me, I feel like he's a locker room leader. Everyone looks up to him. There's nothing to hate about that man, and I have so much respect for him. So as you can see, like in the match with him, like we really had so much emotions because we're gonna go out there, we're gonna really just steal the show. So I believe in him, he believes in me. There's so much trust I have in him. I love the guy. But I'm gonna take back my championship.
And And here we go. It's Hotshot Wilson in the house. What's up, bro? It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has definitely been. I think
Yeah,
since
man.
2019, that's the last time I came to the podcast. Shortly
Gra-
after the formation of Inglorious.
I remember that. For some weird reason, I remember the picture we took of all of us pointing at the camera. You know, the Inglorious pose, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Bro, 5 years is like a lifetime, man. That's pre-COVID. How crazy is that?
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can we talk about Inglorious, 5 years of Inglorious? How do you feel about it? Do you think it felt like just yesterday that you guys formed that faction?
Oh, that moment is always in my memory. Nothing can take away that moment from me, the formation of Inglorious. I felt like that was a very big step up from what Grapplemax was also. It was like a very big turning point. And
Yeah.
that moment is insane. I always replay it in my mind.
Yeah. And we talk about how Bloodline started off as the biggest heel faction and now suddenly the biggest babyface faction, the OG Bloodline. Inglorious also had a similar journey. You guys started off as heels. I remember when we first started the podcast, everyone was talking about how much you're such a natural babyface. Cannot one lah, this guy turned heel, cannot one. And then wow, you ran with that heel turn as Hotshot, and then it came full circle. You were like essentially the babyface of Grapplemax this last 1 year. Like, talk to us about that journey.
So we started off as heels definitely, but once as time goes by, there definitely will be some adjustments. We just have to show that ultimately at the end of the day, we are still the leading faction of Grapplemax. This past 1 year as champ, it's definitely something different. I'm not really involved in much Inglorious tag team matches, but it's definitely an experience on its own. I have to step up my game. No longer, because I want to do things on my way right now. So I have to try to step up, have to have more opportunities to face bigger stars and one-on-one longer matches and more important matches. Because I want to elevate this brand.
Right. And also for like a lot of the matches that you've had, the main event matches, right? I realize also like, you know, you don't rely on your teammates quite as much anymore. Because, you know, when you were still Inglorious, all heels, you guys team fight tactics lah, as it were, right? Now, not so much. How has it been sort of becoming your own man, as it were?
I mean, during the early days, of course, I definitely needed some guidance, needed help from N-Boss, needed help from Remus, but ultimately at the end of the day, I still want to be my own guy. I still want to be that I still believe in my own personal capabilities that I can do this myself. When I'm champion, I don't need extra help. I just want to show the world that I have what it takes to be champion. I don't need extra help.
Is it weird though? Like, there's a lot of sentiment. I don't know if you feel it as well, but like, you know, you're the champ, you've been champ, you've defended the title several times already, but people sometimes still see, hey, this fella a bit of an underdog. Do you feel that? And how do you feel about that sentiment?
I guess maybe I do feel that sometimes that people might think that when I'm faced against bigger guys, I don't think I'm a very big guy myself. And sometimes when I face guys like Prabhu, much bigger guy than me, they always have the sense that I'm still an underdog. But these are people's perception. I can't really change it. So I just have to show that them at the end of the day, I am the champion. And there's a reason why I'm champion.
Nice. And also the crazy thing is like, it's we are going to 1 year of you as champion, right? It was already November of 2023 when...
So fun fact, tomorrow will be my first, at the time of this recording, I'm 1 day shy of being champion for 1 year. One full circle.
Oh, wow.
So 11 November, right?
11 November,
anniversary.
Yeah.
Right.
So, bro, like I still remember that moment when, you know, you RKO out of nowhere, Dave, and like that 3 count. I've never heard the Grapplemax studio explode. Such a babyface reaction that night.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts of that moment and like, you know, overall, like looking back at this 1 year, how would you assess your 1 year as champion so far?
I think it's really surreal. So it's not just that 1 year or anything. It's been like 6-7 years of training. I started back in like 2017 or 2018, training for that long period of time. And at that point of time when I came in, Grapplemax didn't have a openweight title. But it's every wrestler's dream to own a title, to really win and claim a title for themselves. Yes. So it's been a very, very long run. I've been in Grapplemax for these 6-7 years. I've been training hard. And then when they announced that, we're going to have our own title, we announced that, I'm going to have my one opportunity to challenge for this title, and eventually hitting it. It's
Yeah.
Indescribable feeling to me.
Yeah. And you're only in your like late 20s, right?
Yep, I am 27
Yes.
this year. Yeah.
27. So like even though yes, you say you've been training 7-8 years, you're still relatively young in
Yeah.
human years.
Oh,
in my brain, I'm like cat years, dog years, but like
Yeah.
in human years, you're relatively young. And even for an athlete, this is basically you're hitting your prime at this point in time. So again, as a champion, like what was like your mission statement, and what do you feel that you actually wanted to achieve as a champion, and do you feel that you have achieved it?
So I guess being the champion right now, it means that I am the standard for Grapplemax. What I want to achieve in this position is that I want to showcase that the different many talents that we have in Grapplemax. Everybody puts in the effort, puts in the work. And every time I face someone like that, I want to show and bring the best out of them. And at the same time, they bring the best out of me. I'm always improving, always learning from different people. And I want to showcase that all the guys that we have in the back of the locker room here have what it takes to make it on their own. Every single time, I want to bring the best out of them. And at the same time, I'll improve myself each and every time I step in the ring with these people.
Oh, of course, you have a big match coming up with Cal for the Grapplemax Open Weight Championship. But taking a look at the roster, right? Who's there? Somebody new that maybe you haven't tangled with in the ring yet that you're like, okay, this fella, I think I could have a great match with. I could have a banger with. Who is that person that, maybe has caught your eye a little bit? Is there anybody?
Personally, on one-on-one levels, I feel like there are a couple of guys that I haven't faced one-on-one that I feel like we would probably have a great match.
Okay.
I think Jordan has a lot of aura. Jordan is really good. He's really a standout athlete. He's always behind the scenes, always putting in the effort, always trying to get better day in and day out. He only wants the best for himself, and he wants the best for the whole entire locker room.
And you've never faced him before one-on-one?
One-on-one, never. He's always in a
Wow.
situation. Yeah.
Suddenly, that's the match I want to see, yeah?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
If
Crazy.
you think about it, yeah.
I think Simon also. Simon's
Oh,
amazing. He's really, really technically sound. And every single time I watch his match, right, it really, I'm just so captivated by him. He really gets it, I feel.
Yeah,
He
Young
does.
was saying about he has a bit of a W. Allen character to him. Like
He
it's
does.
not just a guy who jumps and flies. You can connect with him on a human level as well.
And he's such a hard worker. So Simon doesn't reside in Singapore.
Yeah.
He's in JB. So for him to come for training, to make the effort, to travel every weekend to come here and train, do his performances, I really think that is like a
Respect.
work ethic, right?
Yes, it is.
Really can't put it off, lor.
Yeah, love it. And also one thing, you might be champion, but some people are saying that the true ace of Grapplemax just returned, right? Talk to me about your history with Cal, and can you, because we both weren't there for Amplify, can you kind of walk us through what exactly happened?
Okay, so my history with Carl really dates very, very, it dates really, really back. So when I joined Grapplemax, it was very obvious that he was the guy of Grapplemax. He was that guy at the back of the locker room, always inspiring others, always, whenever things need to be done, he's the first to do it. He's the one taking initiative to lead the guys, and you really can tell that he is the locker room leader.
Okay.
And all my years, my early years in training, he's always been that guy to rely on. You need advice for your matches. You need inspiration. I will just go on to him because he gets it also. And there's a reason why there's a reason why he won the Marina Bay Slam tournament also.
Yeah.
Because he's just on that level. There's so much confidence in him. So I think it really I was a little bit upset when he took his leave last year.
Yep.
After settle outside, after he didn't win the openweight champion from Dave, then he went on a hiatus. So to me, it was quite upsetting because he was such a role model. Now being in my position, I don't have that person to rely on. So it felt like there was a lot of pressure now because in terms of seniority, maybe someone else has to step up.
Yeah.
Maybe I had to take on that role to step up.
Yeah, I was about to say that. So with his absence, did it actually, in a way, push you forward to step up and say, okay, now that he's gone, I have to step up and take up that leadership role?
Oh, definitely. I feel like it was part of my I felt this responsibility to bear because he really was the locker room leader, and when he left, I didn't really think that there were much. There was still Ramus, so I feel like we really had to take over from where he left off to give the newer guys like some sort of direction, some sort of a person to rely on. And when he came back last Amplify, I was beyond overjoyed to see him to come back.
Yeah.
But what he did after, I think that's the very questionable part.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not like he completely disappeared from the scene, right? He was always going to be there at the events, though not an active wrestler anymore. But, of course, at Amplify, walk us through your thoughts when he did what he did. Like, when you saw him, like, suddenly step up, like, what went through your head?
All right. So, when he came back with his return, I think I was the same as everybody else in the stands, in the back of the locker room. We were overjoyed to him for because he really is such a irreplaceable guy. And now that him back, it just feels that we are on an upright momentum. And then when he came back, we hugged it out, and then he pointed at my title. I kind of expected like he would eventually want to challenge for the title because it is the thing that everybody wants to go for as wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I was up for it, definitely game for it.
Yeah.
But to take me out right after when I had my back turned, I felt like it just shocked me. I really didn't know why he had to do it. Maybe he was trying to make a point. And eventually when he did his little segment talking about how he is the ace and then nobody's going to replace him as the ace, then it became very clear to me. He just wants to come back, wants to claim his spot after his long hiatus to get this Grapplemax openweight title from me.
Talk to us about the difference in demeanor because we always remember Cal as DJ Cal. Now, no more DJ, no more. He's just Cal, and he looks like he has a heck of a mean streak as well. Talk to us about this attitude change, as it were.
It definitely feels like he is a little bit more serious. He's not as much of an entertainer as he was previously. It really feels as though he has one agenda on his mind, that is to take the title off me.
Yeah. And one of the things that a lot of the Grapplemax fans also have pointed out is that, you did deal with a couple of injuries, in this last year. So even though while you were kind of like a champion, you couldn't defend it as much. How are you feeling going into this upcoming like main event? Like, do you feel like you're 100%? Do you think that, Cal might know about your issues this past year and like target it? Yeah, how are you feeling?
Very honestly speaking, I won't say I'm at 100 right now. I think I aggravated an old injury, but I won't back down from this. I think I'm fully ready to commit to this fight, and I'll give Carl. I'll show Carl the reason why I'm the Grapplemax openweight champion.
Love it. I love the fighting spirit. Yeah. Shall we talk about like the rest of the card? I think we should definitely run down. I want to hear your thoughts as well on the other matches.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it looks
sure.
like an absolutely stacked card. And also, can we give a shout out to Nashwan? I believe Nashwan is the one who came up with the poster, right? As he usually does. Look at how awesome this poster is. I love the colors. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the color purple. So got purple, got blue. Wow, looks happening lah. Nashwan.
Yeah, tell Nashwan off camera that we love your poster. See?
Okay, let's talk about some of the...
He gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, there you go.
Can he hear us? Can he hear us talking?
He can't hear us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but...
Inference.
Yes. Let's talk about the matches then. Okay, first of all, we have a grudge match between Julian and SPD. This is a long time coming. Showtime Inc., they kind of excommunicated as well, SPD, and then you fought SPD. Talk to us about what you learned about his character, about him as a person, facing off against him first.
So my thoughts on this match are, I think there's a reason why this is a match on the Pro Wrestling Festival. If you guys have known about the last show at Amplify, so SPD had a match with Big Dave.
Yes.
And Julian came out mid-match to cost him his victory from Big Dave. Because when I was watching the match, I was quite sure that SPD was going to take the win already. He already hit his finish move. It really seemed that it's going to be a shock victory. SPD is going to beat Dave. And all of a sudden, Julian comes out, runs in, and then he distracts SPD, giving Big Dave the opportunity to take the win eventually. They do have this grudge. I think Julian strongly believes that SPD is the sole reason why Showtime Inc. is on the verge of imploding. we don't really see the whole gang together anymore. If you realize, we haven't seen Showtime in quite a while.
Yep.
Bravo is injured. SPD has now dissociated from Showtime Inc. and it's really just all Julian. So I think I can totally understand where Julian is coming from, all that resentment he has to SPD, and it's SPD's job right now to face to fight him at Pro Wrestling Festival. When I face SPD in my title defense, SPD has really has stepped up his game. If you guys have realized, right, his transformation is really very notable.
Yes.
He was quite chubby earlier on, maybe like last year. Suddenly you see he really made the effort. Now he really lost a lot of weight. He's really putting the effort, and he goes to show how much this means to him, how much wrestling means to him.
Yeah, he definitely toned up, and he looks a different person. He looks like Gunther from Walter to Gunther.
Very nice. I don't suppose you have a favorite in this match, lah. You're not siding
I know
anybody.
they're both very hardworking, talented individuals. I can't really decide on one actually.
It's funny this match because like when they were together in Showtime, they were like the perfect. You know when two bad guys hang out with each other and then they like you know like they rub off on each other in the worst way possible. They're like perfect together, and then now they are against each other. So I'm very intrigued by that sort of juxtaposition of characters there.
You guys have a pick on who's gonna come out of this match victorious?
I mean, obviously, we are. I'm always rooting for SPD lah.
Yeah, Young likes SPD a lot. I've actually, Julia has grown on me as a character. I think for the longest time he felt like the most underrated member of Showtime.
Yeah.
But I think even remember last year, was it Amplified that you had a one-on-one title match with him?
Last year in December. He was my first title defense.
Yes, I recall. And actually that was the first time I really paid attention to him as a character. And I was like, wow, actually this guy, he has something. I love his just his natural nastiness.
There's a real commitment to what he does. I feel that makes him stand out, makes SPD stand out as well.
Yeah, and both of them kind of like scratching and clawing to kind of like get to the next level, trying to build their own character beyond just Showtime, right? So this could be like a watershed moment for both of them, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another match, an international singles match. Okay, this is very interesting. Tell us what you know of Jay Lamrod. He will be facing Lavin, who has just returned from Japan. He did a little, Japan stint. Probably learned a whole bunch of new moves, leveled up, as it were.
Yeah.
I after they announced this, I went to research up a bit on Jay Lamrod. He's based on the DXP promotion in Dubai.
Yes.
I think he's more of a striking type of. His style of wrestling is like striking, and Lavin is more technical. He's more on submission based, and I can't really say much about Jay Lamrod, but for Lavin, who has been spending the past few months in Japan, he's really leveling up his game. I think he's living in Japan right now, and he's always like training hard in all the Japanese dojos. I always seen him posting on all this. He's really, and I feel like there are a lot of new tricks up his sleeve this time.
Sure.
Do you know whether he's living there like permanently for the next 1 year, or is it just like a 3-month stint?
I'm not sure how long the period will be, but I know that he's just coming back to Singapore for this one match before flying back off in Japan again.
Wow.
Legit indie wrestler.
Right, yeah.
Yes, yeah. This is a totally random thing, but looking at the poster right now, right? Doesn't this Jay fella look a bit like a local content creator? Like the Thomas K fella?
Oh my god, can you like zoom in? I want to see his face properly. I have no idea.
Here we go. There, this guy right here.
Okay. Oh yeah, shit. Okay.
A little bit, And talking about somebody who looks like a local celebrity, can I just say this Shaheen fella looks a bit like Mike Kasem? You know the DJ, Mike Kasem?
What the hell?
Doesn't he kind of look like Mike Kasem? What's going on? See, I got all the local celebrity lookalikes here.
Your young lookalike is coming soon, bro.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this Shaheen versus Jordan versus Simon Sia, another international triple threat match. Hey, this is legit international because Shaheen is also from Dubai, right? DXB.
Based in that promotion, yes.
Yeah?
Same promotion lah.
You got Jordan and you got Simon who's from Malaysia. So this one really, truly international.
That's right. Shaheen, from what I know, he's the first Arab wrestler to wrestle in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Wow. Okay.
He's really, he's a high flyer type. So he just along with our guy Simon. both of them, I think, will have pretty similar styles. And well, I can't wait to watch that match because I believe it really will show. It's going to showcase a lot of very exciting moves.
It's going to be interesting too because Jordan is in there as the lone striker.
Right. You cannot
as well.
discount Jordan. Jordan is an opportunist. Whenever he sees an opportunity, he's just going to go for it. So, Shaheen and Simon, they really have to watch their back and not let Jordan take an opportunity to win this match eventually.
Interesting. And also another thing is about the with Lavin and this J Lamrod, right? Like, can you talk about like their style clash? Like, what kind of match do you think we can expect from both wrestlers?
I know that Lavin is very technical based. He always wants to ground his opponents. From what I see from J Lamrod, I think he's more of a striker, more of a powerhouse type of character where he does like slams and suplexes. As long as Lavin can control him to the ground, catches him in a submission hole, he will have the advantage. But if Lamrod is able to pull off one big offense, one big move, then that's where maybe Lavin will have to step up.
Wow, I think this to me is the hardest match to call because Jay, obviously, we haven't seen much of him. Lavin, like we talked about, we don't know what new stuff he's picked up in his time in Japan. He could be a completely different wrestler by the time he comes
he's a high
back.
Flyer now, we won't know.
Yeah, exactly, right? We don't know. So I'm actually super looking forward to that match.
Nice, love it.
Okay, so anything else you want to add to the Shaheen Jordan Simon Siam match in terms of who are you rooting for anybody? Do you secretly root for one guy versus the other two, or are you like let them do their thing?
Wow, I think for me, I'm just gonna let them do their thing. I don't think there is one particular wrestler that I'm totally rooting for. They're all very exceptional talent.
Well, Simon, I think should be the crowd favorite. You know how Jordan is or has been since his return. So,
but here's the thing. Remember, they were saying when he returned, he actually got a bit of cheers. So it's an interesting dynamic to see, like, okay, will the crowd there see his, oppa? I mean, he doesn't want to be associated with that anymore. I know, I understand, I respect that. But at the same time, I'm like, I think he has another face run in him.
Bro.
I think definitely the crowd definitely miss Jordan. Jordan just from a long hiatus also.
You know, the crowd might miss Oppa, but they might fall in love with the new Habibi. So you never know, bro. Shaheen, a good-looking fella, bro. You never know.
Mike Kasem apparently wrestling now. Okay, let's talk about
you should take Mike Kasem, bro. Maybe
tag him in the poster. Oh no. Let's talk about the mixed tag team match. Okay, Divya and Ming-Ray versus Ships Ahoy.
Ooh.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Yeah,
can you talk to us about Ships Ahoy? Because they have been displaying some interesting tendencies, especially Christian, from what I heard in the recent Amplify. How you feel about them as a tag team and how they performed this year?
Oh, the two of them definitely work very well together. Christian and Sarah. They can definitely feel their bond, their power of friendship. Definitely, it has led to a little bit of questionable tactics especially in the most recent Amplify. Sarah had a match with Ming-Ray, and the pin could have been a little bit controversial from a very objective point of view. But you can't deny how in sync and how much chemistry there are between the two of them, as compared to Ming-Ray and Divya, who hasn't really worked so much in a tag team setting.
Talk to us about Divya. I mean, Divya has been getting a lot of plaudits from everyone, especially, What do you think about her?
I can talk about Divya. I worked with Divya in my previous match. I was teamed up with her against Wonderboy and Poppy.
Yes.
Divya is an amazing, amazing talent.
Can we very quickly talk about this photo that was co-posted on Grapplemax's poster? I mean, we'll just leave it there. You all form your own opinions, okay? All right, there you go.
Right, she's amazing. She really. There's a reason why she's a 5-time CWE champion, Divas champion. She really has a lot of matches under her belt, and all the experience it really shows in the ring when you do it, when you wrestle with her. I've had so much. It was very assuring to know that she was in my corner when I wrestled against the Malaysian wrestlers. She just really stands out a lot. When I finished that match, when I went out, I talked to my friends who came. They told me that Divya really stood out a lot. They were very, very they felt that she really stood out a lot in that match, and she was she could hang out with Wonder Boy at some point of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was her first match in Grapplemax? Was it an Amplify or was it before that?
She's had some solo matches right this year.
Yeah, because I feel like I haven't watched her wrestle yet.
I think she did have a couple of matches with Ming Rui, maybe in a tag team setting. I know that she probably started wrestling after Fight Club.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, because for the longest time she was a referee.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
And I think once she settled down in Singapore, then like she could like full on do her own matches. Do you feel like if there was gonna be like a women's title in Grapplemax, if there ever was going to be one, is she like a shoe-in to be like the first champion, given her experience, her levels, her aura? What do you think?
I would say she'll be a favorite to win if there's a women's title in Grapplemax.
How many, like, okay, we have Ming Rui, we have Sarah, we have Divya. Do you miss out anyone? TJ
TJ.
in the
we
women's
haven't seen
division.
her in a while though. Yeah.
I haven't seen her in a while, so yeah.
Yeah. So how many female wrestlers we have? I think about technically 3 that's very active, right?
3 active wrestlers, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. I feel like with Divya is like at the forefront. There's a lot of opportunities, for the women to potentially create this own division. But I guess you need more bodies, lah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that she doesn't have to challenge for a Divas title. They don't have to have a women's title for her. She can always challenge for the open weight also.
That's true.
Ooh.
That's very true. Yeah, exactly.
Giving
Open weight
me
title has no gender. Divya can challenge for it. Anyone can challenge for it.
Are you throwing the gauntlet down here? Throwing out a little bit of a challenge? Is
I'm a
that what's
fighting
going on?
champion. I will take whatever comes.
wow.
Let me just post this up here one more time for
Mr.
everybody.
Yang, what's going on, Mr.
No, I'm just saying, the gauntlet has been thrown down. The challenge has been laid. There you go.
It's giving me Tessa Blanchard vibes. Remember that Tessa was like the
TNA
TNA
champ,
champion?
right? Yes.
Yeah. I would love to see.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Nice. Okay, and then of course we have the tag team title match. The big, finals for the tag team tournament. Aussie versus Broken Bad. Let's talk about this. Ooh. Okay, there's the poster.
So
do you have any team that you are rooting for here?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this could really go both ways. This is one of the hardest matches for me to even decide.
Can we also bring up the fact that it's like both teams are a bit toxic relationship teams? You think about it in a way, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
You got Aussie, where Sean is kind of like, downplaying his partner a bit, right? And then you got Dave and Ban, and we all remember Ban used to be this nice boy, do everything right, and then suddenly he broke bad. So, what's going on?
I think actually based on the last Amplify, I don't think Aussie is that much uncoordinated as before. It seems that they have worked out their differences, maybe in the back, because they really do feel like the old Aussie again. The one that are on the same page.
Yeah.
They understand each other very well. That match that they had against Justin and Simon was great. The chemistry was there. It felt like they really were in sync, so in sync. So these two have been wrestling together for a very, very long time. Even in 2022, after COVID, I think they had their matches against Inglorious. They faced lots of tag teams. The two of them are so in sync, and I feel that, honestly, if you ask me what tag team should be the inaugural tag team champions, right? Naturally, I would think it's the Aussies.
Okay. Interesting.
But you cannot discount the fact that Broken Bad are forced to be reckoned with also.
Yeah. It's almost like they are the surprise tag team of the year. Like they were so unlikely allies, and then somehow they've gotten all the victories and lasted all the way to the end. So it's almost as if Bun's turn to the dark side has been a boon for the tag team, yeah?
And if you think about it, right, I felt that Broken Bad had the toughest qualifying stages for this tag team championship. They faced Glorious in the first round, then they faced Best Bros. And they beat Bros.
Yes.
Yeah, they beat two great teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
And
Dave-
let's not discount Big Dave as a singles wrestler, still like kicking ass, still winning matches
For sure.
on the side. Yeah. So
Big Dave is such a guy, right, that has so much experience, so much credibility, right, that he's the first inaugural openweight champion, and there's a reason why. Now with someone on tagging with him, I really don't think that you should not believe that he could also be the inaugural tag team champion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he could
Yeah, that's true.
literally be 2 firsts within
Exactly.
Grapplemax. That's actually huge. I just had a very interesting thought, right?
Right.
Do either of these teams survive as a team if they don't win? Considering their relationship. If you think about it, let's say Aussie lose. I mean, you know, they've been working together fine because they've been winning. But like, you know, like especially with what Sean has displayed in the past couple of months, will they survive a loss here? That's a question. And then you got Dave and Ban who, well, yeah, they're working together now because Ban has turned to the dark side, right? Doing Dave's bidding, as it were. And if it doesn't pan out, then will Dave be like, okay, well, you know, it's your fault. You know, like, oh, I see a lot of very interesting scenarios here. What about you, Wilson? Do you think any will they survive not winning these teams?
I don't really think that they will not survive if they do lose this opportunity to be tag team champions. Aussies, even with their relationship that they have, I feel like at the end of the day, they are still they still work so well together, and I feel like no matter what, they'll still settle aside whatever differences they have, and then they'll fight for the title eventually again.
Yeah. I mean, Young brought up a great point. Like, you know, depending on what happens in this match, you know, there might be a lot of irreversible repercussions.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been talking about the Singapore Wrestler Top 20 as well. I really feel both wrestlers or both teams have a strong claim to at least be in the top 10, and like winning the inaugural tag team championships might push them out really high up the list. So we are excited for that as well on the podcast side.
I don't know why, but I have this in my mind, and this is just me purely fantasy booking this, but like, you know, imagine if Aussie, I'm not saying I'm rooting against them, but imagine if they lose and Sean loses it on YC and takes out YC, and then YC takes a break. And then the return. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah. Paternity leave is real, bro. You gotta get the paternity leave.
Well,
He needs
yeah,
to go
exactly.
for
Anyway, I'm just putting that out in the universe, huh?
Okay.
It's an
fair
interesting scenario.
enough. I
So
love
you
it.
guys have picks for this?
Okay. Crazy part of me wants like Broken Bat to be the inaugural champion.
Okay. Why crazy?
Because all metrics point towards like the established team should be the inaugural champions.
Do you want Dave to hear this, by the way? You know he will have words for you, huh? You are rooting against him, you know.
Bro, I said I want his team to be the inaugural champion.
You want? No, I thought Aussie is supposed to be an established team. I thought you want them to win.
No. That's actually the crazy part of me wants Broken Bat to be the champions, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because I just feel like you know, NXT they did the Dusty tag team tournaments, and like the inaugural champions are always like random teams put together. Like I remember Ricochet and Aleister Black became.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I feel like Aussie, even if they don't win this, like their team is very established already. They almost do not need this title to kind of like, you know, establish or cement their legacy. Broken Bat needs it, but of course it depends on how long Broken Bat is supposed to stay as a team, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Personally, for payoff reasons, I want to see Aussie lose and break up. For payoff reasons. Because we've seen the friction between them for like months already. It's like, okay, where's the payoff, right? So to me, that's what I'd like to see. But once again, it's just fantasy booking.
Would it be crazy? I mean, Greg as the booker, I know he's not here right now, but what if, right, they actually book Aussie to win, and as they are celebrating, then the turn happens.
Wow, but that one makes no, like, why? Why?
No,
why
it's like to finish the story, the story of Aussie.
Then what? Sean just hold both titles by himself.
No, put it on a button and then they break up forever. Like
and then hold another tournament 2025. What the hell?
I don't know. I just think that would be hilarious.
Right. Okay, Tony Khan. Let's talk about our main event of the evening. We forgot to mention, by the way, it's happening as you're watching the video, we're putting this out on a Tuesday, right? It's happening this weekend, 16th of November, by the way. From what I hear, it is a full house, right? Already?
Full house.
Wow.
Okay. So if you missed out on your tickets, you just hang around Jurong area.
Yeah.
Just circle around and then see you can get scalpers or all your bets.
What?
What?
Don't
Sorry?
support scalpers, please.
Oh, okay,
Jurong Spring Community Club Multi-Purpose Hall. Actually, it's a whole festival vibe, right? There are workshops and everything. The show itself is sold out, but the workshops, can people still come in and sign up, or is it a walk-in thing? Do you know?
I need to reconfirm on this, but I think just stay around Jurong area.
Yeah.
If you're ever interested in pro wrestling, just hang by. Maybe you can come in and just see whether it's an open and walk in, and then you can come in and try out wrestling.
Okay, for logistical reasons, because I'm not a West Sider, can you tell me how close is this CC to whichever MRT or shopping mall so I can reorientate myself?
Google Maps this shit, bro. What
No.
the hell?
We have some very lazy listeners. So
What
please,
the-
just for clarity's sake.
Well, then I have to go and Google myself also.
Okay. I'm making the world champion work.
Wait. I will
I'm
do
not
the work for
wrong-
you. Go ahead.
If I'm not wrong, is it Chinese Garden? Chinese Garden MRT? Yeah.
Shut up,
You know-
lah. You asking this fucking question.
No. Our listeners deserve to have all the full information here.
Okay, come. Look, right there, live on the
Google
recording.
Map.
There it
Let's
is.
go.
Jurong Spring Community Club.
Okay. Where's the
wait,
MRT?
I'm zooming up. There's a Rulang Primary School there.
Oh damn! I've heard of Rulang.
I don't
heard of
see I don't see a MRT
There's no
station.
MRT. I'm sure there is.
Boon Lake, Wait. Got bus lah. See, this
Yeah
is
lah,
a bus
got bus
stop.
lah, got
Where
bus.
the Lakeside, is it? It seems like a long ass walk though.
I think it's a bus stop away from the MRT. Like
Yeah, so
not-
you might have to take a bus and then take MRT.
Yeah. I mean, I can't complain.
MRT then bus, sorry.
Can't complain because previously when Grapplemax had their place was in Tampines at Yoha building, everyone was complaining like if I don't live in the east, damn hard to get there, blah blah blah. So,
Right.
You
Now
know,
West Siders have a chance to rejoice.
yes.
Exactly.
I mean, you are as a central person. I've run into you a couple of times
Right.
in Toa Payoh. I think how does it feel to finally see your West Side fans?
West Side.
I think great. I think we'll definitely see some old faces. I think there are some guys that used to come, but then because Grapplemax are higher, mostly in the east, and we don't really see them as often. But now we're back now we're having this event in the west, and I think we're gonna see some of them again.
I love it.
So that takes us to our main event, of course, for the Grapplemax Openweight Championship. It's no longer DJ Cal versus Hotshot. All right. Talk to us about this match. We talked about how Cal has a new attitude. Are you factoring that in, or are you just thinking of Cal as you remember him and going, you know what? Forget about the attitude. I'm just going to beat this guy in the ring.
So I think if you look at it statistically wise, I faced Carl 2 times on one-on-one occasions. I haven't won before. Carl is always victorious in the past 2 matches that we faced off.
Okay.
But if you think about it, the past 2 anniversary shows that Carl has been involved in, he hasn't won either.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it matters the most, like when he faced Big Dave at Saturday Outside for the Openweight Championship. I'll win this time. I don't know. I felt that I grow a lot in the past 1 year as champion.
Okay.
And all I can say is that I'm not going to give him an easy fight. If he wants to claim the position of ace of Grapplemax, if he wants this Openweight title, he's going to be in for a fight.
Are you calling him a choke artist? I'm putting words into the champ's mouth. Because you see, the 2 anniversary show, Cal haven't won. So I'm like, you calling him a choke artist, bro?
I mean, the stats speak for himself.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, this is what Mr. Young said, not Wilson said.
Okay.
I'm not putting words in his mouth.
We will clip this and put it on Instagram. We will tag Cal. Okay.
The heat's on me. Okay, yeah.
Okay. I love it. And also, again, right? Like, if he were to win, right? And do you feel like, he kind of stepped in the middle or in front of the queue? I'm sure there's other challengers who have been like working and busting their ass this whole entire year to get that spot. But he's just coming in, walking in, saying that he deserves it based on past history, right? But like, would you accept his victory? This is very election style question. Will you accept his victory on the night?
I think at the end of the day, we just have to see who the better man is at the end of the night. But how he got to this position, I think it does it does irk a few people.
Yep.
Right, there are definitely some guys at the back of the locker room who has been consistently coming in, day out for the past 1 year, training hard. And this guy comes in after his one long break, jumps in front of the queue of everybody,
Yeah, agree.
just based on the fact that he was the ace previously, and says that I want to challenge for this openweight title. Straight away, in anniversary show, definitely is gonna just make a few people upset right there.
Yep.
So I think it's my job to show him that he was the ace, but the thing is that he was the ace. All times are different.
Nice.
I'm gonna step up, face him, and show him who the ace of Grapplemax really is right now.
He definitely was a very beloved individual, within the community. Is there any part of you that is worried that, the crowd will be behind him on the day? Because usually the crowd is behind you. But because he's making his return, he's been away for so long, even though he has a bit of an attitude now, right? A bit nastier edge, as it were. But does it bug you that the crowd might be on his side come, Pro Wrestling Festival?
I think it really, I don't think it really bothers me because the crowd should have the freedom to root for whoever they want.
Agreed.
So if they're rooting for him, that's all right with me. Because I believe that I do have my own set of fans that will root for me in this match against him also.
Love it. And also one other thing as well, right? Like, looking beyond Grapplemax Festival. And of course, this is the anniversary shows. It's a big deal for you guys.
Yep.
But can you give any sort of inkling on like what 2025 has in store for Grapplemax? Because I think this whole year was proof that, you guys can put on monthly shows.
Yeah.
You guys have done all kinds of outreach, from Night Festival. So many cool things that you guys have done this year. Where do you see 2025 for Grapplemax?
Translation, has Nashwan designed the Marvel style poster for the timeline?
Timeline.
He got do it or not? That's the question.
I think he's still working on it.
Oh, okay.
Probably after Pro Wrestling Festival, because things might change back then. In Pro Wrestling Festival, a lot of things will change. We're going to crown inaugural champions. We're going to have to see whether the openweight champion is still under me. There's a lot of things. I think 2025 is going to be big. It's going to be huge for us. Personally, I would like to see more collaborations with different promotions overseas. This year we had a collaboration with MyPW. We did Cosplay Jam. A bunch of us, we went to Malaysia and then we had this Cosplay Jam show in Malaysia. So I really want to see more of that. But maybe not just Malaysia, maybe other countries also. That's what I'm looking forward to.
We'd love to see you guys.
Yeah. Do you have a wish list of where you would like to wrestle that you haven't already wrestled?
Oh, I only wrestle in Malaysia besides Singapore.
Oh, okay. So where else would you like to, wrestle?
I think right now I'm up for anything. I want to learn how different countries do it. Everybody has different styles. So I think I'm very keen to go and expose myself to the different styles of different promotions also. There has been recently we collaborated with the Philippine wrestling also with the YOLO Twins in Dual Destiny.
I love YOLO Twins.
So SPD recently went to Philippines to wrestle for their promotion also.
Nice.
Looking forward for opportunities to wrestle in Philippines, in maybe Taiwan.
I think Aussie might open the doors for Australia potentially.
Wrestle in Australia also. This year
Yes,
correct. They did. Do you feel like these so-called excursions that you guys will potentially do that can only be a benefit to Grapplemax, getting the word out, getting local wrestling promotions name out there as well?
Definitely, we're gonna we can use this opportunity to show different promotions that there is wrestling in Singapore and we have damn good wrestling in Singapore. So
I think the big goal, a lot of people has kind of talked to me as well. They say like, guys, like if ever there's a way to do like a Southeast Asian Wrestle Kingdom, I know a lot of previous companies have tried it before, but I think with like the kind of connections you guys are making, and also you guys have New Japan as well as a backer.
Right.
Why not? I would love to see that as well.
Singapore Tourism Board, please pump in money so we can hold one big one at National Stadium. See, at the end of the day, we need one backer, one government body coming back.
Technically, Grapplemax Festival has a backer, right?
Yeah, sure.
So like depending on the success of this, PA
Yeah, next level. Let's bring it to the next level. Make it a Southeast Asia thing so that all the people from Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam all can come down to see the big quote unquote big Southeast Asia show.
Yeah, for sure. We would love to do that as well on our side to support
Absolutely.
you guys. Yeah.
Okay, Wilson, any last words you want to say to the fans, the people who have supported you all throughout your entire journey, Grapplemax fans as well?
I think it's been a heck of 1 year, and it's been a very, very great time being champion for this 1 year.
Yeah.
I want to continue being champion for the next year, and as long as I can hold this title. Keen to see you guys at Pro Wrestling Festival on 16th of November. Looking forward to it.
Love it. We'll definitely say hi. Hopefully we can grab an interview as still the champion.
Yes.
Definitely.
There you go. That's Hotshot Wilson. Can't wait to see him go up against Cal at Grapplemax's Pro Wrestling Festival this upcoming weekend. Your podcast boys will be there, so if you see us there, please come and say hi to us, okay? Come take some pictures with us.
Yeah, love it. And it's going to be an exciting weekend. And once the show is wrapped up, the next thing to look forward to, guys, Singapore Wrestler Top 20, 1st December. Don't forget.
Can't
Mark
wait.
out your calendar dates.
Oh, yeah. And of course, as always, we have a lovely Discord community where we all chat about pro wrestling. Links are in the bio. And if you want to take your support of the podcast to the next level, you can always check out our Patreon and check out what tier of support you're comfortable with. Hey, whatever it is, we appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. But let's come for those some of our listeners who don't really watch local wrestling. I know you're here for
You should. Check it out. Actually, just a quick mention to some friends who showed up for SPW for the first time, like their first pro wrestling event. I want to say hello to Zayden, who was there. He and his girlfriend are going to be at the Grapplemax one also. They bought tickets.
Bro, must introduce me to Zayden, bro. I haven't seen him in person before.
Yes.
Sure.
So, okay, a big shout out to you. But yeah, he was there. He said he loved the event. Like, it's a different vibe to see wrestling live and with the local context. We say this ad nauseum, Yeah, we love the SmackDowns and the Raws and the NXTs. AEW is very debatable. But wrestling locally is a different animal and you should absolutely come check it out. Now, that said, let's switch over to the WWE and AEW. And okay, just to set the context, right? Last week, NXT, was it because of the presidential elections? Why did they move?
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes,
Okay.
because of that.
Yeah, they moved their night to Wednesday night. So it's a rekindling of the Wednesday night war. And previously, remember when NXT went head to head with AEW on a Tuesday, NXT crushed AEW, right?
Yeah, that was the one where they had Undertaker and John Cena all
No. The more recent one.
Oh, it's a more recent one.
The Randy Orton one.
Oh, Randy and Javon Evans.
Yeah, this was because of some sporting event. AEW had to move to a Tuesday night. You can argue that, because they had to move nights, then they suffered. Totally valid argument, right? This time, I don't care how hardcore an AEW fan you are, you have to admit there is a problem. They are at their regular time slot and they still lost to a show on the CW. No hate against the CW, right? But the CW network is not it's not a USA. It's not it's like a teeny bopper, like you go there to watch freaking Teen Titans sort of a network versus a proper.
I used to watch Gossip Girl on that network.
Oh God, yeah, right. All the Gossip Girl fans went over on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No, it's not a big network, but they still beat TBS,
was it 90,000 more people watched NXT than they did Dynamite?
But
the flagship show.
Would you argue the nostalgia really helped put them over? Like the fact that they marketed it as an ECW arena show with all the ECW legends coming back. What do you think about that?
I think they as a business should do whatever they can to make themselves stand out. I think ultimately it was still a cooler show to watch. I wouldn't even say that it was the better show, but it was a cooler show. And that's the problem. I've said this before with AEW right now. A lot of their stories are just not cool. None of what they do is cool. And they've trained us to not care about watching the next episode because this is they drop the ball. There's only so many times you can drop the ball and train people into not caring about your product before people just stop watching. And that's what AEW has done. I'll give you the one bright spot AEW had. It was the opening segment. It was, the Hurt Syndicate finally coming together.
Yeah, love it. I think they are gonna do a lot of good business for AEW. I think at least in terms of the wrestling fans who want a bit of credibility in their wrestling,
Yeah.
seeing MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley, who are all legit badasses.
Yes, yes.
I don't think people like Jungle Boy or
Nope.
freaking, I don't know, like Sammy Guevara all want to mess with them. Can you
But-
imagine Hangman Adam Page trying to stir shit with Bobby Lashley?
Bro, the day that like Jungle Boy suddenly has offense against Bobby Lashley, that's the day that you know that they are cooked, they are done. Bye-bye. They're dead.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. AEW are running a real big issue and problem, a real danger of becoming TNA, of becoming late WCW, where they rely on only ex-WWE stars. Because they have failed, absolutely failed in making an original a star. Other than MJF, there is nobody else who is at that level who can draw eyeballs. And that is their own fault because they dropped the ball so many times. Wardlow, Hobbs, Hangman.
No. Ricky Starks, man, like so much. But again, like to me, the litmus test is Hurt Syndicate is gonna be like a big thing, right? And of course, you know, on the other end, we still have the White Pool Combat Club being nonsensical and all that.
The Death Riders.
The Death Riders, apparently that's
Also,
what they're gonna be called.
Hang on. Led by John Moxley, a ex-WWE super. This is all the signs of all the TNA using ex-WWE guys, using nostalgia.
I almost wish, you know, Kenny Omega returned.
Yeah.
Because to me, Kenny is probably the only like non-WWE guy who has a bit of legitimacy or credibility left.
Okay, so are they building up for him to, you know, make the big return? Didn't he just like
appear in New Japan?
Yeah. Right? So what the I'm sorry, but as a boss, as Tony Khan, I would be like, what the bro? No,
and he said in his return, like, this is still the king of wrestling. This is still where the best wrestling is at.
Right. I'm like, as a boss, I would be so pissed off at him. I'm like, I give you the best schedule. I pay for all this shit. I pay you this salary, and you're going over there and saying this is. Meanwhile, your product in AEW is tanking.
But can we be honest? That's probably how he really feels. Like
that's it. But then, I mean, we all know this. It's a leadership problem, lah. You know, and back to this AEW. That's the only thing I remember. The Hurt Syndicate stuff. Other than that, I don't remember a damn thing. And to be honest, like watching the rest of the show was a chore. There was no emotion. There was no reason for me to care.
I'm tuning out for Full Gear because like they're gonna have Moxley versus Orange Cassidy as a world title match. Like not a fan. Not a fan.
Nope.
And do you see the YouTube numbers for Orange Cassidy going out and cutting a promo?
Why?
It was over a week ago, right? He had only 100K views.
Okay.
And that was supposed to be the top story, by the way.
Yeah. You know, AEW defenders want to say that, these TV ratings don't count. You know, people watch streaming. Look at the YouTube numbers. Their YouTube numbers, right, from year to year have also been declining.
Yeah, agreed.
It's trends. You don't see like certain clips do poorly. It's okay. There are aberrations, right? But you look at trends. If year on year their viewership in all platforms is dropping, you know there is a problem. Stop deluding yourself into thinking that isn't a problem.
Is Hurt Syndicate the answer though?
No, because
not yet.
Not. It depends on how they are booked or if they are just booking themselves. It's gonna be like the CM Punk problem where he only wrestles his friends because nobody else wants to work with them. It will never be a problem that is resolved until Tony Khan steps back and they get proper management to come in and say, everybody play together so you can make money. You're not here to go and hang out with your friends and make clicks.
The only way this can be a success is if Hurt Syndicate builds up a AEW like homegrown star. Like I would consider So Strickland a homegrown star only because like whatever he's done in AEW, I would say is gonna be his legacy more than whatever he's done in WWE. But again, how would Swerve look across from Bobby Lashley? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Of course we still have Will Ospreay. Don't forget about him.
I forgot about him already.
Yeah, I mean, like those are people that you should be building your company around, but like don't fuck around with them lah. Put Will Ospreay at the top and let him, let him get the reps in. they are suffering from a post attitude era problem that WWE had, right? All their top stars are gone, or like the stars that they wanted to be top stars was never stars in the end. So they have to build new stars and they have to put their wagon behind new people right now.
They are
It's gonna be
literally
tough,
they are literally the worst of the post attitude era WWE and like the dying days of WCW. That's the combination. That's what AEW is right now.
and it's only been like 5 years. Like
Yeah.
they went and experienced that high and
It's
low so fast.
It's crazy
So
to
fast.
see. And on the other channel, on NXT, like I said, what you had was legends coming in and giving people the rub. You know, I think that was so important. They were not the legends were not the main focus. They were there to pull in, like, you know, you got RVD, right? You had
The
Bubba,
Dudleys.
the Dudleys, and you see what they did symbolically. They gave Trick like the glasses. Like, it's a very passing the torch moment. Yes, we are endorsing this guy. This is the next big star, right? There were a lot of those moments. Freaking Tony D'Angelo, as much as I dislike his gimmick, the fact that he went up against Nunzio and Tony Mamaluke, I'm like, hey,
yeah, I love it.
you know, like,
That was a nostalgia blast.
right? Like, no matter how cheesy that shit, that gimmick, that story, maybe I don't like it, but I enjoyed it because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those Italian, the FBI, the full-blooded Italians, right?
Yeah. RVD I think was a great use as well. Like, like nothing over, and we just saw RVD on AEW. So the fact that he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go to WWE. I'm gonna go to AEW. It's
Who did he
hilarious.
give the rub to?
I know he appeared in a backstage segment with one of the girls. They did like the split thing, right?
Wesley. Yeah, he came out during the Wesley Javon Evans.
I guess I get giving the rub to the high flyers lah.
Makes sense. It makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah. This is the way you should use like your legends lah. Like, I think AEW can learn a lot from it as well. Like, you have your legends coming in, which I would consider Bobby Lashley as a legend already. Level up, you know, the likes of Swerve, level up Will Hobbs, which I hope that's gonna be the case eventually. Like, because these stars need to work with the younger stars so that they can be seasoned. That's the only thing.
But no, that is not. See, what they do, AEW, is they bring in a legend like Adam Copeland, Edge, immediately have him feud with Christian, the money feud, within 2 months, done. Pago liao. All right, wrap up, move on. And then break his leg jumping off a freaking cage.
And that one also against Malachi Black, not even like a AEW guy, you know?
Yeah. And talk about Malachi Black also having like a banger of a match with Adam Cole, right?
Yeah, it was a good match.
Those two can go, but it's like, wow, Malachi is so like inconsequential right now.
It doesn't mean as much as 2019 when they were fighting for the title.
No, it means so little. Yeah.
Do you remember, was it Adam Cole versus Malachi Black? Which is the one where Adam Cole gave the super kick. Oh, that was against Ricochet, right?
Ricochet, yeah.
Yeah, but he was doing like a flipping lion sword and kind of stuck in the head. Like, but the point is like that black and gold matches that he had, whether it's Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Ricochet, like they just were highlighted so much better in black and gold.
Speaking of Ricochet, so it's very clear, right? When he and Samantha Irvin, unfortunately, now that they are away from the WWE, their worst habits are coming out. I don't know if you've kept up with the Twitter, the X drama, them engaging with fans, telling them to shut the fuck up. You know, it's like, I'm like, wow, okay, are we seeing a Samantha Irvin heel turn suddenly? Like, you know, in WWE...
Samantha said that?
Yes!
Okay.
Like, it's like so out of character, but then again, maybe we never knew her because in WWE, they were like, okay, no, you have to present yourself as as a likable person, blah, blah, blah. The second they are out of the WWE shell, wow, you know, they're engaging with fans, telling them, I'm like, wow, that's a Tony Khan problem. Tony Khan is letting them just, and I'm not even saying this as Samantha Irvin is working for AEW, which at this point, I feel like is very possible already.
Or maybe like all the hate that they've been getting has gotten to them. Like, I mean, I don't blame them. You know, like they literally shit on her, saying that the only reason why she left is because Ricochet went to AEW. Like, then they blame Ricochet, something like that, right?
No, but then a lot of the replies that they make are to very normal comments. Like, and it's not even the hate comments. You know what I mean?
So they're getting overly defensive, lah.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like, I'm sure they got comments when they were in WWE also. It's just that they knew better to not like make themselves look like assholes, right?
Maybe.
Now it's like, oh, Tony Khan Papa doesn't give a fuck. He get let Tony Khan him. Okay, you know what it is? Company culture, right? And we can speak of this from our own experience in working in companies. If the top person is allowing him, Tony himself is on Twitter fighting trolls all day long, right?
Ayo, waste time.
So
only.
if my boss is like doing this shit, then okay lah, I can go on. I also can. What the boss is doing it? What? It's this like negative culture that's coming down, that's dripping down.
Yeah, I honestly want to talk about AEW right now because I feel like that just removes the vibes.
Okay, fine.
Can we talk
NXT.
about? I think even NXT, like, there's really not much to say because like those were great things, but honestly, it's not that it wasn't memorable, but it's like it's a great vibe, but it's also very digestible, and then you kind of forget it.
They made stars. They are always in the process of making stars. That is the biggest takeaway. AEW versus NXT rather versus Dynamite, right? To me, Dynamite, only Bobby Lashley stood out, the Hurt Syndicate. On NXT, they tried to make everybody, they had all the legends give the rubs. They started off with a really fun, like, hardcore match, because it's a ECW night, right? Lola Vice versus, oh my God, I forgot her name.
Lola Vice.
Yeah.
What's the other one? I still don't know.
Lola Vice is the one, the MMA one, but she always her hips, that one. And then in the main event, it was like a full-on like, tag, multi-woman match. They were featuring the women a lot.
I don't know that match particularly. I only remembered like the super group match that they had with all the girls, right?
Yep. Jada Parker's.
Yes.
So yeah, Lola Vice, Jada Parker. I've said Jada Parker is someone to watch out for in the future as well. Yeah.
The Jada Parker is the one she was the next in line or something. She was from
was it
NIL. I think so.
Okay, so the main event was Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix versus Team Aura. This is all I can say. This is what you can call them, Team Aura. You had Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Zarya, Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan. Like, they just stand there, look cool already.
They are like a super Avenger team.
Yeah, right? So don't even need to watch the match. But anyway, so there you go. That was the card.
Yeah, I mean, I watch NXT based on just highlights only. I don't really sit down and watch the full show.
Yeah.
But I do hear a lot of good things, and I do hope that they keep cooking. You know, like I like knowing that TNA is doing well. I like that NXT is doing well, but I don't have to kind of follow it. That makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk about SmackDown real quick. Of course, you know, talking about
last topic of the day.
moments and emotions. To be honest, I don't even remember the matches on SmackDown. I know Bailey had a match, which was kind of blurred.
None of the matches was consequential, let's be honest. The only thing I want to talk about on SmackDown, and I think everyone should be talking about it, is the OG Bloodline reuniting. Do you think it was the right time? Do you think they should have like kind of spread it out a bit more?
No, I think they're fine. What they're doing is absolutely fine, because I found myself, right? Like, once again, and maybe this means that, we are not real pro wrestling fans, because how can you say the storylines matter more than the wrestling itself, right? But watching it, I legit, even though I knew what was going to happen, when Sammy and Roman had their first interaction to kick off the show, bro, I felt that shit. I felt the emotions, you know? When he's like, he's not family, like I had a tingle.
Bro, it's tough, man. I mean, but it makes sense. You shouldn't like make it so easy for them to forgive each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like that, you know, Roman, even though he's so-called the babyface, but a lot of his issues from the past are like kind of, he needs to have that reckoning where he really asks for forgiveness. I think that has to happen eventually.
This is such good storytelling in wrestling. And they've worked it so that they don't even have to take a bump and people are there to watch this shit.
Yeah. Honestly, you should make people pay to want to watch a wrestling match, which is essentially what they're doing, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, AEW's on the other side doing crazy ass shit every single night to a point where none of it is memorable already. You talk about that, right? So there's the whole tension of, Sami Zayn got rejected. Is he still going to join the new bloodline? So you had that through plot running from the start to the end, because at the end of the night was the tribal chief recognition ceremony or whatever bullshit lah, you know? So there was the whole bloodline. We talked about this before, like how the Raws during the Attitude Era always had that through line of, they start the show with one story, they end the show with the same story. They tie that big knot, so you have to watch all the way.
Solo is like Bro, Solo is doing it for me, bro. Solo is
If-
like growing on me.
if there was a most, are we going to do a most improved wrestler
Yeah.
award this year for our end of the year show? I think it is definitely Solo Sikoa. Like, I am now invested in Solo Sikoa, even though months ago we were like, oh, this guy no aura, Naboo, you know.
Honestly, I even want him to win a mid-card title just to
Yeah.
get some start collecting some belts because I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
He has been great in this role. I think now having to be like Roman's equal has made him step up.
Yes.
And his sarcasm is he's such like a Gen Z.
Yeah,
The way he
it's-
just makes jokes, you know, at the wrestlers.
It's interesting. I don't know what clicked. Don't know who had a talk with him. But you know what I mean? It's like something just clicked and he's like, oh, this is me. I'm just going to
Bro.
do me. And it's working right now. Okay,
I know what it is. I know what
What?
it is, bro. It's
What?
the I got tickets.
I got tickets. I got tickets. I think you know what it is too. He's probably doing that at the house shows. And then Triple H or somebody was like, hey, actually that shit works. That's you being you.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's just all the new bloodline with all their nonsense sticks. The
Yeah. And then
the
now
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa like quite quiet already. He just stand in the background like waiting
because
for the
he-
next moment for you to
They
get viral.
realize he can't wrestle. That's what they
Yeah.
like.
And then Jacob Fatu was like, I love you so
No. Solo.
bro.
I love you.
Like it's so like what, but like he pulls it off. And then did you see that they let him do a promo?
Bro, the promo was good.
Good. Like I'm like, okay, I don't want him to promote too much. I want them to give it to us a little bit by little bit
Yeah,
by little
yeah.
bit. For
I'm
the
almost
eventual turn.
upset. I almost upset they didn't post it on their social media. Like they didn't put it on YouTube that
Yeah.
particular promo. I wish they did because like
Yeah.
bro, that is the MLW Jacob Fatu that I know. You know,
I-
I've seen his street promos is that level.
It's like I feel like watching that promo. I'm watching a future star, like a future main event guy. I got that vibe. I'm like, oh my god.
Bro, Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker. Remember that head to head that they had?
Yeah.
Was it on SmackDown or was it on Raw? I think it was on Raw because it was like no, it was on Raw because it was Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the Bloodline came and interfered, right?
Yeah.
And then that stare down between Braun and Jacob, bro, that was like Randy Orton versus John Cena.
Yeah,
Early.
but before they became the big stars, they were 100%. So they I'm like, there's just so much positivity in the non-wrestling related stuff.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
wrestling feels like skippable. and
Okay.
stay
I
and
will
watch,
say
you
this
know?
about SmackDown, right? This Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Bailey, that whole I don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah.
Then there's also Nick Aldis doing an incredible job as a GM, by the way. He brings such gravitas, announcing the new women's US title, which I'm like, oh, doesn't that title have Chelsea Green written all over it?
Yeah, I saw a couple of like women putting their shot out, like Mia Yim, Chelsea Green, like all these girls, like I would say like the mid card ones. I think they deserve it for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's great that the women are being highlighted that way. I wanted to say one last thing about the Bloodline as well. They hinted that it was going to be a 5-on-5 for War
Yes.
Games.
Okay, wait. Before we get to that, because that is the main event, we haven't gotten to the main event yet. There's still a few more things I want to touch on before we get there. First of all, does this US women's title mean that there's going to be an intercontinental US title? An intercontinental women's title? Because
I hope
then now
not.
you have unbalanced championships, huh?
I don't know. I feel
It's-
like
it's-
maybe one more title is too much.
It seems too much. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It does.
The other thing was the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens fight.
The
and then,
pile driver segment.
okay, like we all know it's a work, but the way they sold the pile driver, like actually from a certain angle, it didn't even look that good.
Yeah, it wasn't that scary to look at, but when Randy was selling it,
Yeah, he was twitching. He was like all the sounds he was making.
bro, what a
And then-
master, bro.
And then freaking Michael Cole selling it. Like, there's a reason why this move is banned. And then Corey Graves just like, and they laid out. This is really the commentary booth. What sets WWE apart from AEW? They know when to just shut up and have Randy's moaning voice tell the story. We're doing a terrible job of it. But when they were like cutting him into the ambulance, the commentator shut up. Instead, on the other side, do you remember Excalibur crying?
Nothing to say about that. Nothing to say.
That's the difference. That's
And I love, and I love Randy in the fact that, I think this is a lot of him saying like, let the moments breathe. Let him do something crazy. Let him,
Bro.
take me out,
it's a pile driver. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that they're calling back to the fact that this used to be a move that everyone did, but they banned it.
Yeah.
Not
And
everyone
Cody,
did, but you know what I
Cody didn't even have to do anything like this on this show. His only appearance on this show was him helping Randy out.
Yeah,
So
they wrote him out of the show that way.
you can either do Randy taking a break and then Cody versus KO for Survivor Series.
Yes.
Or you can do, like Randy returning just in time for Survivor Series and like calling his shot. There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, so that could be it. I feel like it might be he needs to sell the neck injury a bit more. I'll go away for three months or something like that. But that takes us to our main event. So you did allude to this earlier, right? You had the coronation ceremony. You got interruptions by OTC, Roman Reigns himself. And then, yes, they alluded to 5 men, right? And then Solo tried to tease, oh yeah, Sami Zayn will be my 5th. But Sami Zayn comes out, and there's beatdowns, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, the original Bloodline are back together. They have the whole tense moment where, Sami puts up the 1, and Roman's like hesitating for a bit. And then he puts up and the crowd just, bro, this is all they did. They didn't drop each other on their necks. They didn't do 500 flips. They just did this, and the crowd went banana.
Bro, perfect. This is wrestling 101, bro. This is like the thing that Cornette talks about.
Yeah.
Territory wrestling. Like, it's as simple. Like, storytelling is so simple. It's hard to do, yes, but once you get it, bro, like, look at the crowd reactions, bro.
I haven't heard crowd reactions like that in such a long time.
Yeah.
So, okay. Once again, alluding to the fact that there needs to be 5 members, but right now you have 4 on each side. Original Bloodline versus New Bloodline, there's only 4 on each side. What does that mean?
You know what it is, right? Like, I feel like The Rock needs to explain himself for that random appearance on Bloodline, at Bad Blood.
He like show up, raise eyebrow, leave.
Yo, bro, that one needs some sort of payoff, and the only way that can be justified is if he were to be the 5th man for the New Bloodline. But the interesting thing is the OG Bloodline.
Yeah.
Like, I am very curious how they're gonna play this out, because you heard some news that they have recruited some new Samoan wrestler.
Yeah.
Lance Anoa'i.
Bro, and you throw one stone, you will hit the one Anoa'i. Apparently, that family tree is damn big.
I don't hate that, but I also feel like that kind of entrance needs a bit more build.
Yeah.
We need to care about that guy. Okay, crazy idea. What if Kevin Owens and Randy resumes their nonsense, and then that frees up Cody Rhodes to be part of their Bloodline?
So this is where I think we're on the same train of thought here, right? So yes, Randy and KO. Randy returns just in time against all doctor's orders to battle KO. So that will be like his neck will be the whole goddamn story, right? And then the whole match will be just Randy like groaning and moaning and nursing his neck and milking our emotions. So I think that's what's going to happen. You're right. Cody will be the 5th member of the OG Bloodline, and The Rock will be the 5th member of the New Bloodline, because Rock and Cody still have unfinished business.
Bro, that is going to be the biggest Survivor Series main event in like years, bro. That's going to be amazing, bro. Can't wait. Can you imagine The Rock doing War Games at his age? Like,
I know.
Holy shit.
I mean, they can see, because it's War Games, they can protect him like that. So he can just be like lepak in one corner. He will be the last person in, and most of the time he just lepak one corner.
Bro, and The Rock has never been in a War Games before.
Yeah.
So there is a novelty there that, maybe The Rock himself would want to say, hey, I want to do one-time War Games with my Usos.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, is that giving away too much too soon? No, right? Because it's a multi-man match.
Because you can do that and then they can all shoot off in different directions going to WrestleMania. Yeah.
So you got your Cody versus Raw, you got Roman versus Solo, I guess, or whatever permutations you can do.
Yeah. All right. So,
Is there any other alternative? What about the Hikaluas and the Zila, Fatu and all the... No, you are like...
I just think that they are not a big enough name like to make a splash. Like, it's not even like Solo, because Solo that time when he appeared at Clash at Castle, he was already an NXT star for a while. The people know him, but we do not know anything about these other people unless you follow them in their
Well,
indies.
we didn't know anything about Tamatonga and Tongaloa, and they all had like big introductions.
I don't know. But no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. What if the fifth member is Paul Heyman?
Paul Heyman got the bandana, got the hoodie.
The hoodie come out and screw somebody over.
Nah. I don't think so. It's just Cody and Rock is my pick, and anything less would be a bit of a disappointment for me.
Agreed. No, I agree with you 100% on that. I just wonder if like they might think it's too much. It's where's it happening? It's in Canada? Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto.
Nice.
Toronto. That's why I was
Okay.
thinking like Kevin should play a big role on this show, and Sammy for sure will play the biggest role on this show.
Yeah, he'll be like the Canadian guy that everyone cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the episode. Thank you everybody for hanging out. As usual, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor of the podcast, Hasif. Hasif_captures. He is a independent financial advisor. If you want him to come, take a look at your stuff, talk about entrepreneurship, talk about fitness, do this proper gym bro anything, whatever it is. The first meetup is all about the vibes.
Yeah, man, for sure. Of course, if you need a second opinion on your financial portfolio, he is the guy. He's really big on community and like supporting the local wrestling scene. So, if you do support us and you're a fan, please also consider following him as well. And hey, if you want to have like a tea session, learn more about personal branding, learn more about entrepreneurship, starting small businesses. Again, he is the founder of Katoshka as well, a very popular russet fries brand in Singapore. He's got a lot of wisdom to share, and I think we learn a lot from him as well. And
For sure.
yeah, very, very happy to support him and for him to support us.
For the
K-Guide.
audio listeners, it's Hasif_captures, HASIF_captures. So there you go. All right. We are fast approaching our big finale of the season. I can't wait. There's so much stuff happening. Of course, Survivor Series will top it all off as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out on the show. We really, really appreciate it. And like we always say, if you see us at any of the live events, please come and say hi to us. We'd love to, take photos with you and finally get to meet y'all IRL.
For sure. Woo, it's gonna be a crazy month to end November, and Kick to the Gut Awards. It's incoming, Mr. Young.
Oh yeah, stand by. In the meantime, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building.